Let's do this. Get ready for the Dirt Life Show.
Yeah, buddy. We are ready for the Dirt Life Show tonight.
We made it.
Yeah, it's awesome to be with everybody tonight. We really appreciate everybody tuning in. This is episode 52. I can't believe that means 52 weeks. That's a full year, right? And we're still living the glory of you presenting this 1 year trophy.
Garage trophy.
Us. So thank you very much, Casey Peck, for
the regift.
Yeah, the regift. I appreciate it. I'm Georgie Hamill, and welcome to the Dirt Life Show, episode 52. Thank you guys very much for tuning in. So we hope a lot of people join us tonight. We'll let a few people come in here into the live feeds and stuff, but it's going to be a really good show. We have our featured guest tonight, Wayne Matlock. Wayne Matlock is, basically an off-road legend. He's won down in Baja and the Score racing series. He's done many UTV races. He was one of the OGs in UTV racing. He's raced quads. He's done pretty much everything. He just loves being off-road, out in the dirt and having a good time. So it's really cool to be able to get somebody with his caliber of experience and just hanging out and talking shop with us, right?
Has he raced monster trucks?
Oh, dude, I wish.
Will he want to be the monster truck guy?
I don't know why he wouldn't, you know?
Maybe we'll have a second one.
That would be pretty cool. So we'll see. But, so we're really stoked to get Wayne on the show and just have a good time with him. It'll be neat to discuss what he's been through and all of the cool things that he's been able to do in his off-road racing career. His wife is Kristen Matlock, who was a previous guest on the show. Kristen is just an awesome person. Some of the stuff that I like most about them is you and I are both pretty organized people. And when you're an organized person, you really gravitate to other people that are organized. And Kristen is really well organized from the stuff that I've talked to her. And I can see why they would have success in like the logistical portion of racing and desert racing and stuff, because their team is probably really organized and perfected that, masterpiece of logistics and racing. So that's super cool to be able to understand that they have those capabilities. But so it'll be cool. Man, there was so much racing this weekend. It was nuts.
Crazy.
So just off the top of my head, I think I watched 3 or 4 different series this weekend, or races. So Vegas to Reno, which is going to be our main subject for this weekend. So that's an off-road desert race that Best in the Desert hosts that goes from Las Vegas all the way up to Reno. It's called point-to-point race. Mm-hmm. And they have every class, trick trucks, all the way, to UTVs, buggies, and what else? I don't know what the little bugs are called, the VW class.
I think that's
Could you imagine going 500-something miles?
Dude. Yeah, what is that? Is that class 2?
I don't know what it is,
it's
but
1600 maybe?
Yeah, I'm not sure what it is.
No,
but
that's buggy. I don't know. I'm blowing it.
It's bananas.
But it's like literally the stock Volkswagen. Yeah.
It's freaking bananas. So, so it'll be cool to talk about Vegas to Reno and stuff. Some of the comments are coming in, but they're not coming in on this big screen.
I know,
so
bummer.
We'll see.
I want it because I know our listeners know exactly what class that is.
Yeah, exactly. So Jeff Angel just commented, it's class 11. So
11.
Yeah, thanks,
you,
Jeff.
Sir.
Appreciate it. So anyways, Vegas to Reno, and then one of the things that's on our radar is professional motocross. So the series opened up in Loretta Lynn's, Tennessee.
Right.
Which is an amateur motocross track, but they'd raced a pro national on it this weekend, which was sweet.
It was way better than I thought it was going to be.
I know. I was kind of thinking it was going to be shitty too, and then we started watching it, and I was like, "Dang, this track is turning into a bitchin' track."
I was so pumped.
So that'll be cool. We can talk a little bit of pro motocross. We got a couple other people calling in. We got Jeff Proctor of Honda Off-Road Racing. You got your Honda hat on.
I do, and it was totally not planned that way, but here we are.
That's perfect. So. It'll be nice to talk with Jeff a little bit. And we got our buddy Ryan Edwards of KMC Wheels calling in. So we should actually wait and talk moto with him because he's full moto guy too.
I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, so we'll talk with him. We have some of the results sheets for Best in the Desert here, so we can talk about some of that stuff too. It'll be pretty cool because there was some notable things that I saw in this. And then some of the most intense racing that I saw this weekend was actually neither of those 2 races. It was the Championship Off-Road Series that's more on the East Coast, but they were up in, I think it's Minnesota at ERX Motor Park this weekend. And
was that the one with the split lanes and the grass and stuff?
Dude, yeah, that track looks sweet.
It looked awesome.
That track looks like, what do they call it, chocolate cake?
Yeah, it totally does.
So it'll be really cool to I don't know, just go over all the stuff that happened there. So a lot of the notable guys that race up there are like CJ Greaves, Johnny Greaves. Kyle LeDuc is racing that series now too because
his monster truck's broken.
Yep, exactly. That's his brother Todd that does.
Oh, my bad.
But anyways, they're both monster trucks though, because a Pro 4 and a monster truck.
Yeah, this is true.
Badass trucks. But anyways, so the that series is the only series that has Pro 4 racing now since Lucas stopped the Pro 4 stuff. So I don't know, man. There's a lot of guys out there, and that racing was so awesome. Like whatever that track was and how it just everything turned up, it was just super, super cool. Like if you guys didn't see it, go to championshipoffroad.com and check it out because they did a fantastic job covering it. They had drone shots where they were following the trucks as they went, like let's just say 80 miles an hour through jumps and straightaways that were off the chain. Like NBC and all those guys got to be so jealous. Because it was so cool. Like the pictures that they were doing and the battling that they were catching was just intense.
Yeah, this is the time frame that you got to get creative, right? It's all screwed up because of C19.
Actually, that's a really good point.
So now I feel like everybody that's been sitting around, like as soon as it's time to go do it, like everybody's doing it better than they were doing it before.
That's a really good point.
If that makes any sense. So even just TV coverage, they were probably sitting around in the garage and was like, how could we really set this off?
Yeah, exactly.
I know what we can do. We can fly a drone over it.
Dude, it was badass.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, like I was stoked to see all that stuff. So, yeah, so let's get through some of the little stuff. So thank you very, very much for everybody tuning in. We really, really appreciate it. There's been 52 or 51 episodes that I have not yet said, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. So, yeah, please go do that. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Say hello. Go in the comments. Like us on Facebook. Do all that good stuff.
A year in, you're allowed to say it now.
Well, I don't like to be the beggar guy, right?
No,
like,
I get it,
hate
but
when people say all that stuff.
I know,
and
right?
I'm just like, okay, dude, be the beggar. But I didn't even mention it this whole time. So I've been like, now I feel like an ass because I'm like, dude, I should have said something.
Well, maybe that's good.
Yeah, well, it's good because the people that are already subscribed and stuff, they're actually going there because they want to. So,
Yeah,
but
good.
yeah, please, if you want to, please go and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Like us on social media. It's all of our social media is at The Dirt Life Show. So Facebook, Instagram. We have Twitter, but like I've mentioned a bunch of times, who cares about Twitter?
The president.
Yeah, that's about it, right? And thank you very much to all of our sponsors. We really appreciate it. Shock Therapy, Justin over there has been a really gracious person helping us out with the show since day one. So please go support them and obviously make your wife happy by getting a nice cushy. Oh yeah, you got the T-shirt on tonight. Get a nice cushy side by side so she can be all happy riding around in the passenger seat. So you can use the code DIRTLIFE at shocktherapist.com and save a whole bunch of money. You can always call down there and tell them that the Dirt Life sent you or the George sent you, and they'll give you a big old fat discount on your next purchase. Thank you to Ryan at KMC Wheels. He's going to be joining us later. He's always supporting the show. We really appreciate his help. Zollinger Racing Products. You can use the code DIRTLIFE at ZollingerRacingProducts.com. I know they have some new products coming out for Can-Ams. They got, I think, a few things that are semi-new for razors. And yeah, to get over there. I know that they got some sweet stuff for the Honda Talon too. So get over there and use the code DIRTLIFE at ZollingerRacingProducts.com. You can save a whole bunch of money. Rugged Radios. Use the code DIRTLIFE as well over there, and RuggedRadios.com. Save a whole bunch of money. And they got new radios out too that look really, really cool. And thank you to Lance and everybody at Solder Weld. We really appreciate them always having our backs. And you can go get yourself an off-road repair kit anytime with the code DIRTLIFE at solderweld.com and save a whole bunch of money there too. So we really appreciate everybody's help and support on the show because that's what keeps the gears turning. So let's just jump right into it, man. So in just a few minutes, we got Jeff Proctor calling in from Honda Off-Road Racing. They're going to give us a little bit of their Vegas to Reno debrief. So why don't we just talk a little bit about moto before we get into the desert? So what did you think overall of the Loretta Lynn's Pro National?
I thought it was, like I said, so much better than I expected.
Yeah,
I had pretty low expectations, unfortunately.
So that's like Apple. Apple always puts the expectations low and then executes high, right?
It was awesome. Everybody involved did a fantastic job too.
And especially because it rained like all crazy.
Absolutely,
before, right?
absolutely. But everybody I talked to had that same feel, like, we're gonna go to some backyard track, which it's not a backyard track at all. It's just way smaller than what you would expect.
It's way different than what the pro nationals are too.
That's what I mean.
They lengthened some of the straightaways though.
Right.
Did you see those?
I did.
Yeah.
And not to do the place a disservice, it's been a freaking breeding ground for the best in the world for how many years, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So
some of the guys even said it was like going back to their amateur days.
Yeah, and I think
Mike Gardner says, "What's up?" Hey, Mike, how are you?
What's up, buddy? Yeah, I think we expected that a little bit because of all those guys, and it was cool to see on the TV coverage or the whatever ABC coverage that they did that little clip where they were talking to the top guys to see how they felt about going back, and
yeah, exactly.
Most of them said what everybody thought they would say,
Yep.
a homecoming and whatever, but I was freaking so glued to it. I was so pumped. My guys were killing it.
Dude, your guys were doing really good.
I mean, obviously Zach wins, right?
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Your guys are Cincerillo and Zach Osborne.
Yes, and unfortunately,
dude, they did really good.
They did. I mean, how about
our buddy Steve Westfall must have been so
I'm
pumped
sure he's
for Rockstar
pumped.
Husqvarna.
Totally. How about Sexton coming out of the gate swinging first? I mean, again, it's kind of expected, but
I don't know,
but not
dude.
to that level.
I had my expectations
Holy
set low,
moly.
like you did for track. I
Did
had
you
my
for him?
expectations set low for him because I don't know. To me, he's the new Dungy, right?
Right.
So he's like the proper guy, whatever you want to call him. So he doesn't have that much flair. He doesn't like throw it out there. He doesn't go crazy. But I kind of got, I don't know, I had to eat my words a little bit because he was talking about James Stewart training him, and I was like, okay, he's not the new Dungy. He's going to go bananas at some point.
But maybe it's the perfect mix.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, right?
So all of a sudden you're going to see him like on the 450, and he's just going
Yes.
to pin it.
Man, how many times have I said this to friends or talking about it? Oh, man, could this be the next rookie that has a McGrath year? Could this be the guy?
I don't know.
No,
Outdoors, though?
I know. I'm with you. So, okay, he's awesome. He's awesome outdoors, obviously. He's going to be great. He's a big guy. I mean, these are all the same things everybody knows, so it's not like, everybody gets it for sure. But I didn't expect that.
Yeah, that's true.
And then when he had a dummy mistake, okay, bummer. All right, now we get to go back to, okay, rookie move or whatever.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's probably setting the tone for the season for him.
You got to be proud. It looks like Jeff's calling us right now, so let's get to Jeff Proctor, and we'll see how their weekend went for Honda Off-Road Racing. I really honestly like I think we might have missed him. You want to call him back? You can just hit that button in the middle. I really honestly thought that the racing was super duper cool, man. Like, what a good way to start the series. Like, it was just
100.
Yeah, it was just super, super good. So it's nice to be able to understand that no matter what happens, that they can basically go into it and fix the things that don't really always work that well.
Right. How about the rookie? I forget his first name. Gonzalez.
Oh, that was an amateur kid before.
The weekend before. What was he like? He was on the box, I think, in a class.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, all right, man. So Vegas to Reno, we got Jeff Proctor from Honda Off-Road Racing on. What's up, Jeff? How are you, bud?
How you doing, Jeff?
Doing well. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, we sure can, dude. You're good to go. How's things going?
Awesome. Hey, things are going great. It's kind of the unpacking type of a day, going through everything that's silt-laced and just kind of making plans for the next race.
Yeah, that's always the way it goes, right? Like when you're on the long drive home or flight home, whatever, you're just like, man, what can I do better? And then you get back to the office or the shop and you got a list that's 3 pages long, even if you won the race.
Yeah, we have pit crew lists and prep lists and race car lists and debriefing with everybody. It's pretty intense when we get back from a race, but that's how we take what we learn at each race and make sure that we continue to get better.
Yeah, absolutely. And I had the opportunity to spend a little bit of time with you a few weeks ago. And, the way that you guys operate the program and the things that you guys do with the Honda Off-Road program, it's really detail-oriented. It's to me, like I rarely get to see that in the off-road world, so I know that you guys were prepared going in, and you're going to be prepared going down to Mexico soon too.
Yeah, there's one thing that we know is that we can learn at every race we go to, regardless of how prepared we are. And as long as we go on with an open mind and know that we can learn at every step of the way and learn from people around us, I think we can continue to get better and improve our program.
Yeah, 100%. Well, I think you guys did pretty dang good this weekend, though. So let's get into it, man. How was the? Let's start from the beginning, though, because that's a pretty intense, logistical operation doing a point-to-point race.
Yeah, it's no joke trying to chase 3 different race cars that have different paces and whatnot. And unfortunately, we have a great crew behind us with a lot of good volunteers and staff from the team that help us to get through all of that. Vegas to Reno, from our perspective, we prepare to go out and win. And, I was a little bit frustrated with our performance. We made several mistakes in the pits. And I think it was just a lack of practice due to COVID and a couple other things. But I don't want to make excuses. We're going to continue to get better. But as far as the Talons went, we felt like it was our first real showing with these cars kind of all shaken out. And we felt like we had the pace to run with the lead pack in the unlimited class, which was good to kind of recognize that. It's just a matter of fine-tuning these machines, and I think we'll be off to the races at that point.
Yeah, exactly. And most of these side-by-side programs, I mean, the Ridgeline program did awesome this weekend. You had a couple issues that I know you and I had spoke about, but and we can talk about that. But as far as the Talon program goes, it's really hard to explain to people. Like in any form of racing, when you bring in a new platform, I don't want to say it's difficult, but there's always things that you have to learn and you have to test, right?
Right.
And the way that they came out at KOH and now what they're doing with just testing in Best in the Desert now, they didn't even plan to race Best in the Desert, and now they are. So the testing and stuff that they're doing is fantastic because it's making the cars so much better for the end consumer.
Totally. It's that whole, I hate to say it, but it's so true. It's that whole, you don't know what you don't know.
Exactly.
Right? It's so dumb to say, but it's so true with a new platform. 100%.
So they're doing a really good job.
Yeah, and Honda is really known for their durability testing on the OE side. Any Honda product that you get has been tested and tested. But even with their standards of durability testing, it's still very hard to replicate, a race scenario.
Right.
Yeah,
these
exactly.
races, not knowing how hard we can push these front diffs, rear diffs, all of these new components. And so we're trying to data log as much as we can and just work as quickly as we can to get these cars up to speed. But I appreciate you saying that it's a tall order to develop a new platform to go desert endurance off-road racing.
Yeah, and I don't have any experience with the actual understanding of making a desert car because I've never been through it, but I can speak to it a little bit with the short course racing because we were, I don't want to say the designated testers for Yamaha, but we were doing a lot of testing when the YXZs came out, and we were helping develop it. And the first year was easy because we didn't really push them that hard. They were just kind of like a stock car. But then when we start having to elevate the program, we have to start pushing the limits of the vehicle. We're losing motors, we're losing transmissions, we're losing everything under the sun because you're pushing the car to its limits. So it's actually, you're going out and trying to break it. And you're doing that in a race format, so it's like, shit, I didn't finish or whatever, but you have to accept it. Like, you got to be okay with it.
Yeah, bigger picture.
Yeah,
right?
Bigger picture, yeah.
I think the other thing that's unique to off-road is that it's very difficult to go out and replicate the racing environment in a test environment. I'll give you an example. Race day, where the Talons or any UTV started in the race, it was pretty far back in the pack. And so these UTVs are fighting through 40-inch deep ruts from trophy trucks that have gone before them. And, I mean, we were just belly scraping through a lot of them and trying to find alternative lines and everything. Those are the type of race settings that you can't replicate testing. You just can't, not to mention driving in blinding dust, trying to find the track not to be in. So all of those things come into play that we data log and just want to make these cars better as a result of.
Yeah, and it's cool that you guys have already finished most of the races too. Well, let's talk about some of the positives, man, because you guys had tons of positives this weekend. So, first of all, you guys qualified first in the Ridgeline, right?
Yes, yeah, we had a pretty smooth run in the Ridgeline. Really happy with the way the Ridgeline's been running lately. Got to give it up to the team on that. And we had clean air for qualifying. It actually put us out in front of the 10 cars, which is usually a challenge. They're hard to get around. They don't like to pull over for the push to pass, much like the side-by-side guys. So it was nice to start up in front of them.
Yeah, well, you guys did a fantastic job because you guys were fast. I remember looking at some of the times in qualifying, and I was like, holy crap, man. Jeff must have just been full wood the whole time because he was hauling them butt, man. Like, it was really cool to see that.
Yeah, my car chief was asking me, okay, so what percentage were you pushing the truck during qualifying? I was like, oh, Evan, it was about 80%. And then when he walked away, I was like, actually, guys, I was wringing his neck. It was about 110%.
That's cool,
though. That's awesome.
I didn't want him to worry about the truck, so
right.
I had to tell him it was just 80%. Yeah. So what's interesting about my qualifying is that many of you know Ray Griffith. He's an accomplished race car driver. I actually have Ray as my coach during qualifying.
Oh, right on. Yeah, Ray's raced with us in the UTV class in Lucas.
Yeah, and so many of you that know Ray know that he qualifies with his hair on fire. That's just his style, and so he's been kind of sharing with me kind of some of his qualifying techniques.
Not to interrupt you, but he races Lucas short course with his hair on fire too. But I got to say, I'm really proud of myself because he's never beat me. So...
Nice.
But he's like that, man. Every time he's on the track, he's full wood. That's for sure.
Yeah, the last 2 times I've had him in the right seat during qualifying, we've qualified first. So we're not going to break this tradition. He'll continue to ride in the right seat for qualifying.
Perfect.
Wow, that's super good. Is
combo.
That's actually a good point to bring up. Is it different, like we know Evan, and so is it different, like having those different personalities in the car? What does that do to you as the driver?
Yeah, I mean, it's two completely different styles. You know, Evan is very calm, cool, and collected, and he knows the truck better than anyone. He's also not just a great prep guy. He's a fantastic navigator and can do the long haul. Now, Ray is calm, cool, and collected, but his whole mentality around qualifying is just insane, and it's just push as hard as you can, and
fix it later.
He had me just wringing the neck out of that 3.5 liter twin turbo V6 Honda engine.
That's so cool, man. I would have loved to have seen that live, like just hearing it. Oh, here comes Jeff. I can hear him.
Well, there was even some photographers that were like calling back to my camp at qualifying saying, hey, did Jeff wreck his engine? Like it was throwing air out the exhaust and it was stuttering. And I go, no. That's just banging the rev limiter the entire 7 miles. And anytime you shift the sequential, it throws out flame.
Dude, how fun is that, man? You must have got back all pumped up.
Oh yeah, dude. I could have ran a marathon after I got out of there. I had so much adrenaline pumping when I got out of the truck after qualifying. It's just like 7 minutes of fury.
Like
now you know why we like short course and motocross so much, right?
I know. I totally want to hear what he said to you. Like, is it like a trigger, or is it like? I mean, I can imagine like, oh, cool. Does your wife drive too? You know, something like that. Or I'll bet he's good at getting you going.
Yeah, like so Ray says something funny. That is really cool though, man. And for anybody that doesn't know, we'll get Jeff on the show and hear his whole backstory. But Jeff does a lot. He likes motocross and stuff just like we do, so it's pretty cool. Hey, I don't know if you noticed, Jeff, but Casey wore his Honda hat today.
I did.
Yes, I love it. I love it.
So Casey just got a 450X, so he's been back on the bike riding around too.
Having a little fun.
Nice. That's such a great bike.
Yeah, it is.
Tried and true.
For sure.
Exactly. So, okay, so you guys qualified good in the Ridgeline, and then what was kind of the next things that were on the schedule? So just kind of checking over the cars, making sure everything's good to go?
Yeah. So we just kind of go through the car one last time, make sure we didn't disrupt anything during qualifying, and ready to rock on race day.
Sweet. And then obviously the race day comes around. I don't know what the starting order was, but wasn't the Ridgeline kind of towards the front in the starting order?
So we actually were slotted behind the 6100s in front of the 10 cars. So off the start line, I mean, we were in 150 miles of just the spec TT silt train. And so we were just trying to make some conservative passes and get around as many spec trophy trucks as we could. And we ended up putting some time on our competition because they were actually pretty deep in the 10-car field, which is tough to get around. So we made some good time, and, unfortunately we had some vapor lock issues. And it's frustrating to put so much effort into a race and to have that really kind of scrub your speed and slow us down.
Yeah, those things, but they're gremlins that you want to get out of the car, right? Like your guys' main focus is the Baja races down in Mexico, so this was a perfect place to figure out those issues because you can get that fixed before you go to the bigger races.
Yeah, so we got the San Felipe 500 or the Baja 500 coming up out of San Felipe. It's going to be a hot one. It's in September down there on the Gulf side, so it definitely was a good test for that race. But either way, we don't look at races as tests. We look at races as, hey, Honda expects us to go out and win. So from my perspective, a little bit frustrating to have that issue. We're diving into it pretty deep today, and we'll obviously take some countermeasures and come back stronger. Yeah,
for sure. Well, and Jeff's kind of discounting himself a little bit. He was leading the whole freaking thing, and he still got second. So, he's mad at himself because he wants to be perfect and will go out there and win. But his results were still fantastic. So, what happened with the Talons? They did pretty good too, no?
Yeah, I think the biggest takeaway with the Talons is that, we've got two incredible drivers on the team. So proud of those kids. Elliot's got some desert experience. Christopher doesn't. And they were able to get out, and within the first 100 miles, they clicked off a lot of guys in the UTV unlimited class. And I think at one point, about past the 100-mile mark, they were running 1 and 2 on corrected time based on our information. And so that's encouraging to me as a team owner to know that we have the pace, not knowing if we had the pace in the unlimited class, and now knowing that we did early on. So we've just got to kind of tighten up some little small things on these new chassis from what we learned at the race. And, I think we'll have a really competitive car real soon.
Yeah, and they were actually doing pretty good. So some of the tracking that we did, and I have some of the results here too, but they were going pretty good. Like their paces were quick.
Yeah, I don't think we were too far off pace. So that's definitely encouraging.
Yeah, it is for big
but we
time.
just had some simple stuff take us out.
Yeah, well, and like I said, though, that's good. It's nice to get that out of the way now. Of course, as the team owner and the racer, I would say the same thing if I was in your position. No, we failed because we wanted to win. But no, you didn't, because you actually did very, very well, because you're taking out all the you're fixing all of the stuff when you're going into the stuff that's important in the score races.
Yeah. The flip side of that is, hey, I'll take it. It's the first Talon to finish the longest off-road race in the United States. So we can hang our hat on that. Wasn't the best of showings, but we at least got Christopher's 94 car to the finish line, and pretty stoked to see it cross the finish.
So when I was in the shop a few weeks ago, I obviously enjoyed looking at those cars and understanding how they work and stuff like that. What did the drivers?
So awesome,
dude. They really are.
I wasn't there obviously, but so as someone who viewed it, from the outside, they're so sweet looking.
Yeah, and to go on that, a little bit more, for our audience that's listening, we actually have a shop tour with the Honda Offroad guys that we're going to release in the next couple of weeks here, and we'll be able to show you guys the Talon, the Ridgeline, and some of the behind-the-scenes stuff. So it's really, really cool. But one of the things that I was going to say was, what did the drivers think about the car? What was their opinion when they got out? Were they like, holy crap, this thing can, motor?
Yeah, I think they kind of shared the same sentiments. We had a debrief on Saturday over the phone after the race and just wanted to know how the race went. Both of them are pleased with the progress of the cars. They're pleased with the performance as far as its handling's concerned. These Talons handle really well in the corners. They get up and go out of corners, so you got a lot of low end power. One thing that we need to work on is we just don't have the top speed to keep up with the Can-Ams right now. So we can pull on people in the tight technical stuff, but once we get to a wide open straightaway, like you have at Vegas to Reno, some class competitors were pulling on us. So
I think that's just the nature of the beast.
The tweak in the ECU to get a higher top speed.
Yeah, put more fuel in there, get it all good. Yeah, that's cool though. I mean, it's neat to be able to understand that, and you guys are logging all the data to be able to make that stuff better. Yeah, I just think it's so cool that these things are developing into such awesome race cars. So kudos to you guys for.
And they're Hondas.
Well, yeah. I mean, like.
Sorry, I get all giddy about it.
So Casey's been a diehard Honda guy since day one. That's what he raced at CR125 and Supercross, CR250, the whole deal, man.
So good. Yep, love it.
So
Very cool. Well, we appreciate you being a diehard Honda guy. We certainly bleed Honda red around here. So
it's super cool to see that, and like I'm so stoked that Casey wore his Honda hat by mistake too.
It worked out perfect. I always got to match, right? I had to match the red and the red.
Yeah,
and
I don't know if Jeff can actually see your shoes though, but he has red checkerboard Vans on too, so he's like doing all the red today.
Awesome. He came prepared.
Yeah,
I did.
Exactly.
He's wearing all the Honda because I'm not.
Well, you're wearing Honda every day, man. Well, I honestly, man, I'm so stoked for you guys. I really I know that you're hard on yourself, and I know you want to get better, but I think you guys did fantastic this weekend. When I was looking at the results sheets and I was watching you guys, I was just pumped for you guys.
Yeah, well, the program is still young. You know, we've just built these cars. This is really only our second race with these cars, so I think that there's a lot of upward mobility and just really encouraged and looking forward to the future of what these Talons can do.
Yeah, I agree too. And how was it hanging out with the team and everybody? Was it nice to get the band back together, so to speak?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, we hadn't been back since the Mint in March, so it was nice to get everybody back together. We were a little rusty in our pits, to be expected. But, I can't thank this whole team enough, man. We have such a good dynamic on the team between the drivers and their parents. You never know what you're going to get with some parents. And these guys have incredible families that they come from that are incredibly supportive. And then the existing Ridgeline crew as well. So we just really have a lot of great things on the team right now and a good synergy. And I'm just grateful for what we have.
Yeah,
I'll bet the buzz getting back together, like he said, like he kind of glossed over it. March, are you kidding me? Think of that. March, April, May, June, July. I can imagine everybody's just like pumped to be even just at the wherever together, right?
Yeah,
at the
like
gas station.
Nobody's sleeping the night before. Everybody's like getting ready,
totally.
waiting in the trucks. Like, go, let's get out there.
Yep. I'll bet that was awesome.
Yeah, it honestly, it kind of forced us to appreciate racing more when you take racing out of your life and you're like, whoa, wait a second. This is a huge void.
Right.
And now we had something to look forward to with Vegas to Reno. And yeah, everyone on the team was so pumped to be there. And yeah, it was great to get the band back together.
Yeah,
awesome.
It's super cool. Well, so what's the plans coming up in the future? So I think Baja 1000 is still on, or is it the 500? Which one is?
So it's the Baja 500 raced in San Felipe, not Ensenada. So that's coming up. I want to say it's September 26th. So we're in a pretty tight 4-week turnaround to get down for our pre-run in Mexico. And then following that race, we have a 4-week turnaround for UTV Worlds. And just some insider information at UTV Worlds, we hear that the track's going to be tight and technical. So we're going to leave our 4-seat long-distance race cars at home, and we're bringing out the 2-seaters for the UTV Worlds.
Oh, that'll be fun. I think that'll be really cool. Yeah, I haven't got to see the track yet. We have, like you said, some insider information too, so we'll be able to understand it a little bit better. I think we're going to maybe race that race too, so we'll definitely see you guys up there, and hopefully we can go pre-run that course.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
We're hearing that the desert track is built on 3 square miles, and it's like a 26-mile loop on 3 square miles. So I have a feeling it's going to be tight and technical.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, that's going to get beat to shit. I guarantee that track's going to be super rough, man. Holy cow.
Yeah, not to mention the visibility if they don't put water down.
Yeah, well, especially up there, too. Like, there's a lot of, like, shale rock and stuff up there. I mean, well, you know Parker and all that stuff. It's all gnarly desert up there. Oof.
It's all similar in that area.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, think of 3 square miles on 26 mile of track. Just think of that.
Right. It's like in the strip in Vegas.
Yeah.
It's all going to be right there.
Well, so it reminds me of, you know, those little, like, have you ever seen a Segway course? Like when they stand on the Segway, they just turn. Like, keep going back and forth, or like some sort of little skateboard course.
S-turns all the way through.
Yeah. So who knows what it's going to be like. Man, I wonder if there's going to be any straights where they can open it up.
I think it's only permitted for those 3 square miles.
That's going to be crazy. So, well, I guess you said, I mean, you could hold your head up high now because now maybe the Can-Ams can't go full wide open.
For sure.
So that'll be cool, and I really look forward to seeing you guys up there too, because there's a lot of the guys in your crew that I haven't met yet, so I'd like to shake their hands as well and see how those guys are doing too. But it'll be neat to see it. What I forgot, is the Baja 1000 going or no?
As far as we think of week to week with Mexico, we're planning as if the Baja 500 will happen. And if the Baja 500 happens, we're thinking that the 1,000 will happen. But at this point, we just have to plan like it's going to happen. If it doesn't happen, then we'll try to pick up some other races later in the fall, like Battle at Prim or something else.
Yeah, okay. Well, that'll be pretty cool. I mean, I really am going to keep my fingers crossed that it happens, because it'll be pretty neat. And I don't know what the situation is down in Mexico, but I really hope that those races happen, man.
Or maybe I'll find a 3 mile square place and
you'll make your own.
make my own. Yeah.
That's gonna be crazy, man. It'll be interesting. But the nice part about it is if you break down, you only have to go 3 miles.
This is true.
To pick up the car.
Right.
So we really appreciate you coming on the show and having some fun with us.
George, you're always looking at the positives.
Hey, I got to think like, I mean, I always want to go down to Mexico. You know why, right? Because I love tacos. Not because the racing is fantastic.
Real ones.
Oh, we know you love tacos.
So, well, we really appreciate you coming on and giving us the lowdown on your guys' Vegas to Reno, man. Like I said, you guys should definitely hold your heads high because you guys did a fantastic job this weekend. And like I said, it's probably awesome to have the crew back together and stuff, too. So, kudos to you guys.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you having me on the show.
Yeah, absolutely. So, we'll talk soon this week, too.
Okay, sounds good. Take care, guys.
Take care.
Later, Jeff. Thank you very much. Well, we really appreciate Jeff Proctor coming on the show, man. It's crazy to see how everybody has their own way of operating, right? So you, well, no, he said it about me. Like, I always look at the positives, right? But a lot of times when I was coming home from the races, like, I was so freaking hard on myself. Like, no, you got to do better. You didn't do this right. Like, so we're going through and we're analyzing what we could do better on the car. We're analyzing what we could do better in the, in the pits or whatever, like to make the car better or operational procedures and stuff. But then going through my head, like, I know what's going on in his head. Like, there's a million things that I think, okay, in corner 2, I let off the gas for 3/4 of a second,
right,
and I missed this shift, or I did this, and you have that 20 times a lap, and you're like, okay, I got to fix all these things. So in your head, there's this huge cloud of errors, and you're like, I got to fix all. And he raced 500 miles.
I know, and that's why exactly what you said goes on in everybody that a racer, period, or one that really aspires to do the best they can. It's exactly that mentality. And what's worse, so I can feel it. He didn't get into it, but when when you're thinking like that and hard on yourself to, hit your marks. Oh, shoot, I screwed up. Okay, get back on it, hit your marks. And then you have a mechanical.
Yeah.
It's so frustrating because you're trying to do the best you can to not leave anything on the table.
Yep.
And then it becomes something that you do beat yourself up also because it's a mechanical, which means possibly could have, been overlooked or whatever. And I'm sure it's a fluke thing and a freak thing.
Especially with a team owner.
Oh, my gosh. So I bet he's really bummed out and probably pretty hard on himself.
Yeah. And I don't think he should be bummed. I think he did an awesome job.
No, absolutely. And still second.
Yeah. And so that's just just to finish that race is an accomplishment in
Well,
itself. So
consider this: all that math going on in your brain, driving, right? And he's also thinking about the rest of his team.
Crew. Yeah, exactly.
The whole other cars.
I had so many people text me over the weekend and be like, "Dude, like we did crappy, or we did good, or there was so much adversity." Like, it's insane to see everybody's individual, unique story, and I give them so much props. Like, if you can finish that race, you already won.
Yeah,
right. Because it's insane.
Totally.
Okay, well, let's talk a little bit of moto before we get and I don't know what's going on with the comments today. We haven't got any comments, so I don't know if the computer's not working properly or what the deal is.
We're getting ghosted.
Yeah, maybe. But we should have had some comments. I don't know if the YouTube comments are working or the Facebook ones, but if you guys are out there and you guys want to comment in and see if any of it pops up, just try to force some comments through. If we don't answer them, we apologize. We're definitely not avoiding you. We just can't see any of them. So Ryan from KMC Wheels is going to come on here in a little bit, but let's get into moto a little bit, dude. So obviously your two dudes were doing pretty good this weekend, Adam Cincerillo and Zach Osborne.
Super stoked, for sure. And how about everybody's expectation of Tomac, and he comes out first moto just stinking up the joint.
Or like you were saying, low expectations, like high. Dude, Anderson waxed that first moto.
He was like out of nowhere. Like I'm almost like, finally, yes.
Like out of a cannon.
It was so awesome, yeah.
He admitted in the press conference, though, he's like, I think if anybody else had gotten out that quick, they probably would have won too. But I don't know, man. He was pumped up.
I don't want to say perfect, but he was darn good that whole moto.
He ripped good.
Zach kept him honest and did what he needed to do, which is super cool for him.
Yeah, but he did super good, man. It was cool.
Marsha, too.
Yeah.
So many guys. Marv, out of nowhere. Well, not out of nowhere. Off the couch, basically. Obviously, he's been putting the work in.
Yeah, but he still did really good.
We forget about him because we didn't see him all season.
Yeah, he's not up to like race level or whatever. We just had a comment come in, Bo Judge. So Bo and his driver, Bo's the co-driver for Phil Blurton, and they actually won Vegas to Reno in the UTV Turbo class. So
nice,
yeah,
congrats.
Congratulations to you guys too, Bo and Phil. You guys did an awesome job this weekend. I saw some pictures of you guys. You guys were ripping. And then you talked about Sexton too. But one guy that I thought was like crazy, let's go back to the 250 class, was RJ Hampshire.
Forgot about the 250s. It was awesome.
So RJ Hampshire did good.
He did.
Well, and Dylan Ferrandis kind of waxed everybody, but
kind of expected. I feel like it's just like Josh said. I feel like if you're a fan, it's his to lose.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, all the other guys, I really wanted Jet Lawrence to do a little bit better.
I did. I was a little disappointed in him, actually.
But RJ Hampshire did really good, so that was cool. And I don't know if you saw, but like in the podium interviews, like after he walked off the podium, he was limping super hard still.
Was he?
So that ACL is, it might be strong like to ride. You know how it is. Like, you can ride with it, but you can't walk with it. Like,
and the scary thing is they warn you when you get it done. Like, you think you're going to be good, but that thing's actually not alive.
Yeah.
It has to regenerate. So you've rebuilt everything, and you're not putting it in harm's way when you're doing your normal things.
Yeah, you had a lot of knee problems, but like an ACL is what, a year and a half?
Yeah, so they'll say you can recover 6-8 months, but it's not fully healed. The ligament is not regenerated if it's that type.
So is that for
be.
RJ Hampshire and Marvin Muskin?
I would say same. Yeah, I think Marv's had like 3 or something, hasn't he?
Oh, shit. Dang.
He's had more than one for sure.
That's crazy.
Regardless, yeah, you can be out there feeling right, but all it takes is that one.
Yeah, and then you could just like dab it, and all of a
it's
sudden
over.
It's like blows out.
Start over again.
Well, let's get Ryan from KMC on the line here. Ryan, what's up, dude? Oh, it looks like we might have missed him. So I'm not sure what happened, but Ryan was on the line, but he's not anymore. So you can give us a buzz back if you want, Ryan, or I'll try to give you a call. But man, I don't know what else to say about that, because to me that was like phenomenal how well that RJ Hampshire rode. Like,
Yeah,
I thought
he was great.
I thought he did a fantastic job.
For sure.
Who else? So Tomac did good in the second moto, though.
He did. Yeah, he was to his.
What's up, guys?
What's up,
happening?
Ryan? How are you, dude?
Hanging in there. How you guys been?
Pretty good.
good,
You
doing good.
super tired from this weekend, or what?
Yeah, no kidding.
I'm still a little fried.
Dude, I can imagine. So I was thinking about you this morning, and I was like, man, all those racers and all those guys and crew members and everybody has a pretty hectic schedule. But Ryan's got to deal with all of those guys.
I was just
going to
say,
supports.
think how many people want a piece of him
Yeah.
at an event like that.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
and then come back to work.
Right.
Did you have a debrief with the team this morning at work too? Say, hold on, man,
Oh,
chill. So
I pumped the brakes real quick.
how was the races this weekend?
Man, it was a good time. I actually this was my first time actually like chasing the trophy trucks and trying to like stay ahead of the leader. And man, those guys, Menzies and those guys are going real fast right now.
Yeah, how hard was it to stay ahead of them in the actual, like, on the street in the trophy trucks?
I would say the first 5 pit stops, I was consistently getting to the pit before Menzies and McMillan and stuff would get there. And then after that, it was just like downhill. Like I was showing up and the third truck would already be going through. So, you know, they were doing more mileage than I was doing on the street, and they still were beating me to the pit.
Dang.
Dude, that's bananas.
Through giant garbage and freaking cliffs. And,
let's put it in perspective a little bit here. So I've driven up to Reno from Vegas before, just on the highway, and so it takes a while, right? Like, let's just say it takes you 6 hours to go 400 miles.
Yeah.
Right.
These guys, and that's
Yep.
like a normal pace, like in a passenger car, right? These guys are getting it done almost that fast in a off-road truck, and so he has to keep up or beat them to the pits, dude.
Oh yeah, and they're zigzagging across the desert. Like, you know, it was 20 miles on the highway, and they were doing 40 miles, and they still were consistently beating us to the pit.
Dude, that's bananas, man. Well, how was it, though? Was it a good time to have everybody back together?
No, it was awesome. I mean, I think the whole atmosphere was, you know, everyone was stoked, and it wasn't like the Silver State debacle where, you know, we were delayed on the start and fires and all this stuff. Like, it was a legit race, and, you know, we had some setbacks with the COVID stuff, but they still got over 400 entries for the race. So I just think everyone's pumped to be racing.
Definitely.
Which is cool.
Almost like old times, huh?
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah, almost like old times.
So Tech and Contingency, I saw Ryan can elaborate on this, but Tech and Contingency, they left all the cars on the trailer, and they just jumped on the trailer like you just drove through. So you don't like to unload and push your car.
That saves some time, I guess, too.
Coming from a sponsor standpoint, it's not the best scenario.
Right.
Because there's no public. You can't take a good picture of a truck on a trailer. And it's just not a lot of interaction going on. So that side of it kind of sucks, but Bethlehem Desert did the best job they could. So, you know, we got to do what we can just to go racing at this point.
Yeah, exactly. And you probably made changed it up a little bit, got way more pictures out in the dirt and things like that while you were going through. So I'm sure you guys still got a good.
Yeah, that's the whole reason why I get out there and do it. Just, you know, we can't do the same old second contingency of, you know, shaking hands and seeing people, so might as well get out and follow the race and get some content that way.
Yeah, that was super cool. I saw a lot of the content that you guys posted on your social media platforms and stuff. It was really neat to see. And man, we got so much racing this weekend. I don't know if you saw it all, but so you obviously attended the Vegas to Reno race, but when you got back, well, I guess maybe tonight or tomorrow, you got to watch the race at ERX, dude. The UTV battle.
That's pretty cutthroat.
Dude, it was bananas what CJ Greaves and Kyle LeDuc were just battling so hard.
That track looks amazing back there, too. I wish we had something like that out west.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, it really does look cool. Like, if we had the opportunity to take a short course car out there and just go rip, it would be fun. And even in just a UTV, it would be badass.
I wonder if those guys in the land of green where everything grows and everything's great, blah, blah, blah. I wonder if they're like, dang, dude, I wish we had like a torn up, gnarly, rocky desert course like they
wild, I don't think anybody requests the Wild Horse
Right.
Pass track. Like that's like the bottom of the
No,
barrel.
not one bit. That is the least requested track out there.
I know, man.
But you know how we are as racers. We're like, same old layout again. You know what I mean? I wonder.
You're right.
I wonder if deep down, like we're like, oh, dude, that green place. And
Every
all that.
West Coast short course track is the same layout, dude. It's like
Okay.
4 lefts and 1 right
There
hand
you go.
turn. So like what
Right,
Ryan's
one bank turn.
and what exactly and what Ryan's saying about like ERX and what you were saying, that track looks freaking
It looks
awesome.
so cool.
It's
Totally.
like that whole
Yeah.
moto chocolate cake thing.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah, that's the epitome of a track right there.
well, speaking of moto, then you definitely got to watch that ERX race when you get a chance, dude. It's bananas.
Yeah.
So speaking of moto, what'd you think of the freaking Loretta Lynn's National, dude?
Well, I mean, I should have been there for one thing. We're one of the title sponsors of the motocross series, but I got obligations out here. But it was to see them racing at that track that we've seen so many amateur people race on was pretty cool to see.
It was.
It was super cool, and I did see
they,
a bunch
they
of the
did a good
KMC
job
banners.
of making it.
Yeah. Did too.
Yeah, they did a good job of making it, a pro-worthy track, I think.
Agreed. Way better than expectations, right? That's how I
100%,
feel.
yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Dude, and then it's part of Wheel Pros, but and then the Fuel guys, the JGR guys, just came out swinging, dude.
Big swing out there.
They came out so hot at that first moto. Savachi and I forgot, like Norin or somebody. They pole
Yeah,
shot. I
that's
was
what it
like,
was.
Yeah.
dude,
And he's a backup rider.
Yeah. Right.
dude. I was like, man, those guys must be so amped and just pinned.
Yeah.
But they got swallowed up
Well,
pretty
those-
quick.
And supposedly those guys are working off factory parts from last year. They don't even have like new 2020 parts to use.
Whatever they did, dude. Maybe they just like
Right?
they Alessi'd that gate and just pinned
Yeah, they
it.
did.
Yeah, they just went for it.
But that was super cool to see, and I wish that we could go out and check it out, man. So, you have the next weekend off, or you have to go to Loretta Lynn's?
Man, I was trying to swing it, but I don't think my wife will let me. But we got passes. I mean, I'm down to get you out there. I'm down to get anyone out there at this point just to have some representation.
Yeah, well, I would love to do it, man. But I'm going to Texplex this weekend, so I'll be in Scottsdale tomorrow.
Oh, you're
and
going
then-
out to Texplex.
Yeah, so I'll be in Scottsdale tomorrow, and then we're going to be I actually have a doctor's appointment in Plano, Texas, with Pastrana's eye doctor and Ricky Carmichael's eye doctor. So I'm going to try to see if I can get some
Wow.
eyes fixed. So I'm going to go out there in Plano, Texas, have a doctor's appointment, and then I'm going to go hang out with all the guys at the races. So it'll be pretty fun.
Isn't that
That's
funny
rad.
saying that? Isn't
Yeah.
it funny to say that place? It's just Plano, Texas.
Yeah.
That's how it sounds whenever you say it.
So, so I'm going to go out there and hang out a little bit. But, if you ever need any coverage for the motocross races, I think these two dudes sitting here in the studio are down to go help
I'll
you.
bet I can find one.
Well, and here's the other thing. With motocross, the Paula Nationals the same weekend as UTV World Championships.
Oh, fucking A, really?
Yep.
Man, that's crazy.
There's only
Killing
so
me,
many.
man.
There's only so
I
many
don't-
days left in this COVID year, right?
Right.
Dude, and I'm going
We're
to add on
packing it
to
all into
Yeah,
one thing.
totally.
And I'm going to add on to Ryan's workload, too, because Craig Scanlon is going to let me borrow an RS1 for the UTV World Championship, so I got to get some parts from you to put on
yeah.
there. So I need some wheels and
I
tires.
can't wait for that.
Do you have any suggestions? Because I don't know how to build a RS1, man. I'm going to be hitting you up all the time.
Yeah, I mean, RS1's pretty good. You just got to keep it small, keep it light. Like, we won't do big tires or anything. We'll keep a narrow offset, and you're going to race short course?
Yeah, well, and short course, we just had Jeff Proctor on, and he said the UTV World Championship track is in a 3 square mile box, and it's a 26-mile loop. So it's just going to be basically back and forth 100 times.
Holy shit. And the short course is going to do the same thing, huh?
I have no idea. So that's just the insider information that he just gave us on the show. So, I mean, if that's going to be the case, dude, we're just going to have full bottom end the whole time. Like,
Yeah.
no top speed
I know.
needed.
12-inch
Speaking
tires.
of Proctor, I mean, Elliot Watson told me that the rules mimic the Lucas Oil short course, so it's a 30-inch maximum sizing for the short course cars.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that's fine, though. We don't need any bigger tires. I don't think I've run anything bigger than a 30-inch on any of the cars that I've had. So I'm
Yeah,
good.
the RS1, you wouldn't go bigger than 30, but those ruts are going to get deep after the desert cars go out there.
Oh, yeah, and we probably get the short end of the stick and just go, like, last day
Yeah.
full like Glen Helen National at in the afternoon.
Right.
Yeah.
You're like out there on like a
Be a work
skateboard.
race at that point.
Dude, pretty much. But yeah, so I think it'll be pretty cool, man. I think the UTV World Championships are going to be pretty fun. It does suck that we won't be able to go to Pala, but hey, maybe next year, right?
You know, as long as we're racing, I'm happy.
Yeah, exactly. So what's on the roster for you then?
Shit, man, just trying to keep moving on and keeping like going to these events, because like now they're all stacked up on top of each other, so I got to pick the best ones and get to them at this point.
Yeah, exactly. Well, like I said, if you really do need help, just let me know. We can help you out. But
Yeah.
What about riding though, dude? I want you to get out there and start riding.
Shit, that's why I got 3 dirt bikes that are just sitting there calling my name, so we got to get out there.
Yeah, for sure. So I don't know if I told you, but Casey just got himself a 450X. He's actually wearing his Honda hat today. So he's been
Perfect.
Last couple weekends, he's been out doing some trail riding in the morning, beating the heat. And I think I might have told you, but I ordered a 2021 450L, so that should be here at the end of the month. So we can go hit the
Perfect
trails.
timing for when the weather cools off and we can start dual sporting.
Dude, I want to go so bad,
Yep.
man.
I'm in.
All right, homie. Well, we
My
really
bike's prepped and ready, just sitting there.
All right. Well, hopefully you get to go riding soon, and we get to all hit the trails. So we'll let you go, man. I really appreciate you calling in. We know you got a super busy schedule, but good job this weekend. Congratulations to all your drivers. Obviously, Bryce took home the bacon and got it done, and you had a bunch more people that did a really, really good job as well.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Yeah, no, we had a really good weekend, and I hope to hopefully keep carrying this on in the next couple months with all these crazy races.
Yeah, exactly. Well, give yourself a pat on the back too, man, because all of this stuff has a lot to do with the support that you're giving all these teams and all these drivers and stuff like that. So you're doing a fantastic job too, bud.
Thanks, dude, and I appreciate everything you guys have been doing for us.
You got it, homie. All right,
Same
well,
to you.
we'll talk to you soon. We got Wayne Matlock coming on, so let us know if you have any questions for him.
All right, talk to you later, man.
Have a good one. See ya.
That's cool to see and understand more of the behind the scenes, right? So you got Jeff Proctor. He's obviously in the driver's seat. He's talking about co-drivers and stuff. You talk about Ryan that's supporting all these teams. Like, to get those two differences is such a I don't know. It's just such a big gap, right? But it's so cool how it all comes together in the middle. It totally is.
It's so weird. Like, I was just thinking about, as everybody was talking about the race and whatever and all these different things that happened, and think about think how it's one thing that happens. Like, I don't know where my brain's going here.
You mean one thing like winning a race?
No, like, okay, so this event is just such a washed out word, but like there's this disaster that happens out in the desert.
Oh yeah,
that everybody signs up for.
Wants to, yeah.
That's what I mean. And then think of the byproduct of that thing that happens and all the stories that come around it from like so many levels. It's at the high level, it's at the low level, it's the beer can budget, it's the freaking helicopter budget.
Yep.
It's so crazy.
And how many different, like, actually now since you say that, and we'll talk to Wayne and Kristen Matlock a little bit about this, but I wonder what the percentage or the ratio is of people that actually finish. It's probably 25 to 35%, and everybody else is toast, right?
Right, totally. And nobody's going there with like, oh, it'd be cool to go like, 4 miles.
Yeah, everybody's going, I'm going to win.
Right, totally. So that's what I mean is like everyone's going like at this impossible thing.
Yeah.
That's what's so crazy about desert racing.
Exactly.
It's awesome. It's you have to have a respect for it.
And so that's what I think is, like, Jeff was so hard on himself when we were just talking to him, though. Like, dude, he should be pumped. Like, he's beating the crap out of those things and finishing the races, man.
But as a owner, again, imagine the management that's going on in the back of his brain as he's still trying to get it, jump this, get that, move
all right,
that.
We'll reverse engineer it.
So crazy.
What if you got some money and we were like, yeah, go build a desert race car and go out and race? What are you thinking at that point? Are you putting all the pressure on yourself? Are you just hoping to finish? Like, what are your expectations?
You are. You're okay, yes. I would say sitting in the seat or as a navigator, whatever they call them, co-driver, you're only thinking about that, right? Yeah,
but you got to build the car and do all this stuff too. Oh, shoot, is that me?
Oops.
Sorry, guys. So
different mentality for sure.
I don't know. I feel like it's the same mentality that you would have if Jeff had it. Because, like, let's just say you get a couple $100,000 and you're like, here, you got to go do a desert racing season. Like, all of a sudden, like, you take that check and you start building a car, you're like, oh, fuck.
But that's what I mean is, like, there's a whole nother dynamic in play here.
It really is.
He's got major weight on his shoulders. That's all I'm trying to say. So he's in the moment racing, but at the same time, it's so important that he's involved to a certain extent in managing the other classes.
Yep.
So I'm just throwing major kudos at that's hard to manage and then go out and do the best you can do in exactly what you're focusing on the moment.
Yeah, and so in my short course racing, like I didn't have anywhere near that budget or that type of program, and it was only me. It wasn't the other guys too. But I was so hard on myself all the time too. Like always, just always like that. Looks like we got Wayne actually calling in right now. So we're going to skip our commercial break, and we're just going to get straight into Wayne Matlock here in just a second. But it is really cool to be able to understand the different mindsets and things like that everybody has. So I really appreciate Jeff being so honest with us about all that stuff.
Did it go?
No, you got to slide it. Answer the phone. Okay, cool. So we can call him back. So let's take a quick commercial break, and we will be right back. We'll see you guys in just a second.
Hello, I'm Justin, the founder of Shock Therapy. Shock Therapy has been around for 5 years, but we have personally been tuning suspension on off-road cars and race vehicles for over 25 years. We tune between 10 and 15 cars per day, every single day of the week. Our concentration is tuning shock systems and supplying components that improve the ride quality of your car in many ways. Not only do we work on the average UTV, but we also tune suspension for race teams and professional drivers. We currently tune for over 87 race teams in Best in Desert and Score. Our clients and race teams rely on our suspension components to allow them to win races and keep them safe. Suspension is a moving target. We are always trying to hit that target with every customer that we work with. Each customer's needs can be different, and we tune our kits accordingly. Our research and development never stops. We improve our components every single day. As the industry evolves and improves, so do our parts and kits. As of right now, we have over 100 products for UTVs. So when you bring your car to us, you have the satisfaction of knowing that you have the most experience, the highest quality products, and the fact that your car is being tuned specifically to you.
Zollinger Racing builds the best aftermarket products available. Products for your UTV or snowmobile, including billet radius rods, billet tie rods, billet steering knuckles, billet steering racks, alternator kits, and much more. All manufactured in the United States in-house at their headquarters in Nibley, Utah. Travis Zollinger and his team test in some of the most brutal conditions, racing in places like the Best in the Desert Mint 400, Ultra 4 King of the Hammers, UTV World Championships, and many more. Visit ZollingerRacingProducts.com and use the code DIRTLIFE to get 10% off your next purchase, and join us on social media at Zollinger Racing Products to see our products in action. Zollinger Racing, the best products, period. Yeah, finally we got Lance from Solderweld in the studio. Thanks for coming down, bud. Hey, why don't we just record a commercial now?
Yeah, why not? So good to be here, man. It's been a lot. I've been trying to get down here forever, and I wanted to talk about the off-road kit.
Dude, I love those things. I got it in my pack.
Yeah, we're running hundreds of vehicles now running them, whether it's a UTV or some guy's got it in a backpack on his motocross. He's got everything he needs to make a fix right there on the fly, out on the trail, or in the desert, whatever it is.
Well, since I've already used one, I kind of know what to use it for, but explain what it does.
All right, so let's pull one out real quick. You've got your aluminum rods. Remember, they're rods, right? So, light torch, small torch. You can throw it in there or throw it on the rig with your flux. It decontaminates and cleans like, let's say, a radiator. You get a random rock chip runs through as you're racing. You get a rock chip in a radiator. You got to fix it right there or you're out of the race.
You can patch it up.
You can patch it up. It's all good to go.
Yep, just like welding.
Yeah, also as well with that, you've got a brake line fix. So with your flux, you can fix a brake line, stainless steel, and then your hot block, heat absorption putty. So it keeps you from getting burned, number one, as well as keeps the heat from traveling. So it's really nice.
I've used this not even to fix anything, so that stuff works so good, man.
Listen, it's easy. It straps in nicely so that you have everything you need in one little place, and you don't have to carry a big bag in
It's like a first aid kit for your vehicle.
Yeah, chase trucks have it as well, so that if they need to make a fix on the fly, they can get it done and get it done quick and get you back in the race.
Dude, those things are so cool. All right, so it's at Solderweld on Instagram, Facebook, and solderweld.com.
Awesome.
All right, thanks, bud.
Appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, we are back. Man, that was a good break.
You recharged?
Yeah, recharged for sure. So we are back, episode 52 of the Dirt Life Show. Our featured guest tonight is a Baja Champion, a very long-time off-road racer. He's been in motorsports for many, many years now. He has a very fast wife as well. And his whole family really, really enjoys getting out in their Polaris RZRs and having a good time. We would like to welcome Wayne Matlock to the show. What's up, Wayne? How are you, bud?
Good. And you guys, how are you?
We're doing awesome, man. So other than it just being hot as shit in Arizona, we're good.
Stoked for all the awesome
Yeah, we have the same problem
racing
here in California right now.
Yeah. How bad is it over there? Because you guys are like Alpine area, like Southern California, aren't you?
Yeah, our hot's not nearly as hot as your hot. So it's 92 here today and it's hot.
So listen to this story,
hot,
Case.
for sure.
So they race King of the Hammers and different things like that, right? So Death Valley, which is right down the street from there, was 130 the other day. Could you believe that?
That's insane.
Yeah, imagine that, right?
Gross.
Yeah. We did a score race back in early 2000s. Score decided to race in July in Las Vegas, and it was 122 degrees on the track.
Oh my God! So how hot was it in the car? I mean, you cooking at like 200 in the car.
I was riding the quad at the time.
Oh, so that's you.
It was miserably hot.
Yeah, that could suck, man.
Jeffrey Ricker says my hero's on.
Yeah, definitely. But he's a bunch of people's heroes. So, at least the comments are working, so that's good. So, So we were talking about racing a little bit on the show here. We were talking about all the motocross racing that happened this weekend. There was some short course racing at Championship Off-Road, and obviously the Vegas to Reno race that you guys did. So we want to get into your story, but if it's okay with you, if Kristen's around, we'd like to maybe have her come in and we could talk about your guys' little race breakdown real quick, and then we'll get into your backstory.
I just locked her out of the room.
Oh, perfect.
No, she's around here. She's making dinner for the kids, so she'll be right in, I'm sure.
Okay, no worries.
Life of every professional racer, making dinner for the kids.
Yeah, perfect.
Absolutely.
I love it.
Well, so how are you guys feeling coming back from such a long weekend or long week?
Good. It's lucky for us, we have a really good crew. So it's a crew of guys. And
there she is.
Yeah. Hey. Hi, Kristen. How are you doing?
Hi. Good. How are you guys?
We're doing awesome. So we were just going to talk with you and Wayne a little bit about the Vegas to Reno. Sounds like you guys had a pretty awesome week, huh?
You see me back here?
Yeah. Here, I'll scoot over a little.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a good week. We a lot of testing going up to the race, and we put a new motor and package transmission and motor and everything in the car. Went to a Pro XP setup.
Oh, cool.
And it was a lot more involved than we anticipated with fuel system, electrical system, water system, everything. So it took a little while to get it all figured out. and get it dialed in. And come to find out, we have a little more dialing to do.
Yeah, well, that's good, though. Like, we were just talking with the Honda guys, and obviously your program's different, but there's a lot of similarities, right? Because when you have to test and push the boundaries to move forward, you have to do those things to be able to make sure that you're doing it. And we said this, and this is kind of the same with you guys. Best in the Desert is not your focus. It's a good place to go test because Mexico is your guys' focus, and the Baja and the Score and all that stuff. So it's good that you were able to get the opportunity to be able to test the new platform.
Yeah, it was good that we figured out that we have some more work to do. On my car, Kristen's car, we've got that pretty dialed. She can always use more top speed, but I think every racer on that track said that, even Bryce Mincy. So it's just one of those things. Our cars are set up a lot more for Baja than Best in the Desert. They're set up for real rough, a lot of whoops, a lot of rocks.
Yeah, they're
heavier cars. Race Best in the Desert, a lightweight 2-seat car would be a nice benefit for both of us, but it is you have two different setups going, so it's good for us to get up there and stretch the legs of the cars and get ready for Baja.
Yeah, exactly. Are you guys going to do the UTV World Championship this year?
We want to. We're signed up. The only problem is it's so close to the Baja 1000.
Yep.
For the Baja 1000, our cars get all new powertrain, drivetrain. A lot of work goes into that race. So from this point on, I believe we're signed up for every race possible. We'll see which ones happen and which ones don't.
Just get as much in as possible in 2020.
Yeah,
exactly.
So we
it's
were
even
just
closer to the Baja 500 because it's right after.
Yeah, it's right after the Baja 500. It's only a week or two after the 500.
Yeah.
That's
Yikes.
crazy, right? So we just got, two pieces of information that we got that I can pass on to you guys is that we heard that it's basically like a 3 square mile box, and it's going to be 23-mile loops, so just back and forth the whole time, right? Like those big cars are going to have a little bit of trouble on that.
Yeah. Driving our big boats around that track. So a little 2-seat car would be nice, but a lot of the other desert guys are in the same thing. You look at, Mitchie was holding it down really well at Vegas to Reno in a 4-seat Polaris.
Yeah,
he was kicking butt. So it's definitely doable. We just got to get some bugs worked out and get it a little faster.
Well, we know that if anybody's going to work,
build new cars.
Yeah, or build another car.
Hey, so that actually brings me up to my second point that I was going to bring up. One of your guys' best buds, Craig Scanlon, offered the RS1 that he's got sitting in his garage for me to drive at the UTV World Championship. So I think I might shred that thing.
I would.
I have an RS1 that I race doing the dirt series stuff with the kids, and it is the funnest car that I've driven.
Dude,
it is so much fun.
You're like the 20th person that's told me that. You're getting me all excited.
Yeah, you can't help but smile when you drive an RS1. It is just so much fun.
Like everybody, you could talk about your backstory being on quads and stuff, but like we're moto guys, right? So, and everybody's like, dude, it's way more like a moto. Like it's like super throw it around, like just whip it around, have fun.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. My background, I started on moto and then went to ATVs because at that time I'd basically race anything. Probably will now too. But it was just from moto to ATV. The ATVs, someone wanted me to race, and I'm like, yeah, I'll race it. So we started racing that. But this RS1 is a lot like that.
Nice.
Where you're in the car, you even find yourself trying to lean, like you're on a dirt bike or a quad.
Like the little kids playing video games and they're turning the controller.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, not to get off subject, but Casey just got a 450X, and I'm going to get a 450L here at the end of the month. So maybe you do need to get a 2-wheeler. We can go out in the desert.
I have a 450X in the shop.
Dude, let's go, man.
Yeah. I get to ride it one time a year. It was actually belonged to my dad. And my dad passed away, so I still have it.
Oh,
and
nice.
We do a ride every year to Mike Skyranch for his birthday.
Oh,
so every year I ride his bike.
Oh, that is super
down there.
cool.
Yeah,
that is really cool too.
It's one of Johnny Campbell's old race bikes.
Right on,
so
man.
It runs good.
I know that hits home with Casey too, because Casey just picked up his 450X after his dad's passing just a few weeks ago, and so we did a commemorative jersey and all kinds of fun stuff. So that's a really cool story.
Oh, nice.
Both of you guys have.
Yeah.
All right, so
dirt bike's a lot of fun.
Let's talk about your race. So, Kristen, get back to cooking dinner. Your race went really well, man. I saw you climbing up through the pack.
Oh yeah, I was running a good race for sure. I just had a couple, issues here and there that slowed me down and kept me out of the first or second place position there. But you know what? I'm just happy to be out there racing, and I was excited to land on the podium, and I'll take third. That works for me.
Heck yeah.
I think you did a
Yeah,
fantastic
we're better
job.
than
'cause
mine.
where'd you start at? Weren't you back past like 20-something spot?
No, I got 6th at the Silver State race, so I was able to take that position for starting.
Oh, okay. I thought I saw you further down in the roster when I was looking at the live. Well, maybe it was just a tracker.
Yeah. I started 6th, and so did he, actually.
Oh, right on.
Yep, and then we were both running 3rd position, and unfortunately, Wayne didn't make it at the end there.
Well, I was only running 3rd before pit too. I think a lot of people have that story.
Oh.
Yeah.
But yeah, we went backwards pretty fast at one point and got the issue fixed, got back on the course, and started marching back up towards the top. I think we worked our way up to top 5 before the end. Coming over the mountain, we got a flat, and we dealt with the overheating issue all day.
Oh,
So we just kept going to the limp mode. So we got something to figure out on the cooling system. But coming over the mountain at the end, ended up getting a flat tire, just drilled a rock, and trying to change it in the mud. And it was pouring rain and mud and everything. So got out to change the tire, and the jack kept falling off the car.
Oh.
The jack kept slipping out from under it. And finally the jack gave up. And so we broke the jack. So put everything back in the car and had to continue on with a flat tire
Oh, no.
the last 15 miles. And a mile and a half before the end, the bolts that hold the header pipe to the turbo snapped.
Oh.
And we DNF'd a mile and a half from the end. We could see the finish line.
Is that because the motor got so hot?
Yeah, I think the motor was just so hot all day long, running at high RPM at high speed when we could. It just I think it finally gave up.
Yeah.
The bolts gave up.
Cook those studs. Oh, that's crazy, man.
Yeah, cooked the studs and snapped the header right off the turbo.
Well, at least you guys learned it.
Live and learn.
Yeah, at least you guys learned it at this race instead of in Mexico, though.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I wanted to do well at this race. I've won that race 3 times on quads.
Nice.
And it's been my nemesis in a UTV. I have yet to do well there. It's it's frustrating. It's always a mechanical issue, you know. But a lot of people have that. It's just something that happens.
So
I think we just expect these cars to run at such a fast pace all day long. It's hot, and you know we're just testing these cars to their full ability.
Yeah, pushing them to their max.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Exactly.
So
Casey
and I actually talk about this all the time, like where UTVs came from. Like, remember the Razor 800? Even Craig Scanlon and I, when we were on a bike ride, we were talking about the inception of the Razor 800, or like the Yamaha Rhino and all these different things. But like now, how fast you can freaking go, and like how awesome and stable they are. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's. I remember when I was racing quads for Honda back in the day at Parker. The first time they had Rhinos show up, I remember making fun of the UTVs in the pit, and it was kind of fun for me because all the dirt bike guys made fun of me for riding a quad. So it was finally my chance to get to make fun of someone else.
He finally had
and
the
here
little
I am
brother
still getting made fun of.
Yeah.
Oh, how awesome is that?
You know,
but they've come a long ways. They've come a long ways.
You know what's crazy about as they rise? Okay, so.
The pecking order?
Well, the next platform of what, or the next improved platform of what you're already running is, you know, it's new and improved. Okay, so now you push it a little further, and then on and on and on. It's the same thing in the cycling world, as they say, it never gets any easier. Like as far as how much it hurts and how much you have to do everything, you just go faster.
Yeah.
So like it's almost like you take it to the next level and then you break.
Yeah.
Right. And then you get all that figured out, and then you take it to the next level, and then you break. Like it's.
We have a saying on our team: if you don't push the limit, someone else will.
Yeah, that's perfect.
So you always have to try to improve.
That's
100%.
You could in racing you can't be complacent. If you're complacent, it means you're going to get passed.
Right. Well, that's definitely a true statement, and I can relate to that wholeheartedly with both your guys' comments. So when I did the Ironman, I was pushing it like all the time, right? My physical ability, all this stuff. I did that for, 3 or 4 years? And then right after that, I totally avoided what you guys are saying now and just said, fuck it, I'm out. Tacos for the rest of my life, never doing it again.
Right. I know, it's funny. I can imagine, like, whatever that break was, okay, he's going to figure that out and fix it. Can you imagine if the next race you're like, oh, we're good, we're just going to go the same. We just know that this is going to break.
No way.
Yeah, right. Now we're going harder. That's so awesome.
Yeah. It's always a constant evolution,
Right.
which is good. It's good for the sport too. It's good for the manufacturers. I mean, now we have engineering support at the races with Polaris. This year's been a little tricky because of COVID and everything, and there's no travel and all this other stuff. Luckily, we have some people at Polaris that really enjoy racing, and they come out and spend their own vacation time. With engineers with us and stuff. So
wow,
it's
awesome.
been really good. So they get direct feedback from us on track, and we've already had debriefings today of the bolts that we have, what we can do differently, and they're going to look at the OE side and see what they can do differently. And just to make improvements for next model years.
That's so cool.
That's pretty dedicated if you think about the corporate side of it.
Well, dude, we were
like how many employees are like
we were sending oil samples, bearing samples, all that stuff from all of the stuff that we had at Yamaha. Like it was crazy.
But I mean, those guys to come out on their vacation.
Oh, that type of stuff.
What I mean is standard issue employees like, I'm not using my vacation.
Yeah, well, we just volunteered to go to the motocross races for Ryan too.
Yeah, we did. That's some pretty gnarly dedication. That's pretty cool.
It's really good. They have some engineers there at Polaris that really believe in the product and really want the product to do well. And like I said, they're taking their own vacation time to come out because they have a travel orders not to travel.
Sure.
For business reasons, but they can travel for vacation. So they come out and help us out, and it's great to do. It's great that they do it.
Yeah, it's
fun.
That's awesome.
Hey, so not to change the subject, but we have. So I don't know if you're familiar with who Jeffrey Ricker is, Wayne and Kristen, but so he said, "Oh, my hero is on," and then he backtracked and said, "Never mind, Kristen's my hero now."
That sounds like Jeff.
Oh, that's cool. Well, thank you very much for telling us about your race. I do have one more question before you go, Kristen. So I've never raced Vegas to Reno, but I have traveled from Vegas to Reno on the pavement, and I love the scenery. What was your favorite part of the race?
The scenery of the sunset was absolutely gorgeous that night. The sky was purple and pink and red. Yeah, it was absolutely gorgeous.
Did you get to see the lightning too?
Yeah, I got a lightning show and everything.
Dude, you didn't stop and take a selfie? What the heck?
Right? I talked about it, and my co-driver's like, we're racing here.
We're racing. I did see some epic photos because of the storm and stuff, right? That's where you get all the clouds and the colors, and I did see some of that.
Yeah, some of the photographers got some really cool shots. Well, if you don't mind, Kristen, we're going to do the rapid fire Q&A when we're done talking to Wayne. I don't know if he can yell at you and have you come back in, but that'll be in a few minutes here.
Okay. Yeah, I'll watch the show and come back in.
Sounds good. Have a good dinner.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Wayne. So we have a lot of our audience that was chiming in on social media and asking questions and stuff, and it's pretty clear that you're at the top of the UTV game now. But I want to backtrack a little bit and understand where you came from, because a lot of guys, when they see you, they go, "Oh, wow, he's just a fast racer," right? But no, man, you've been working at this almost your whole life. Where did it all start?
Yeah. For me, it started with my family. My dad raced anything he could get his hands on, from racing drag boats to three-wheelers, motorcycles, quads, and then motorcycles again. So I grew up around racing and going to the desert and doing all that stuff. So it's just been something that we've done. Or as I was telling Craig Scanlon this last week, my first time, not my first time to a Baja race, but one of my first memories of a Baja race is my dad was racing a quad at the time, and I was 15 years old, didn't have a driver's license, but he let me drive a Ford F-250 with a toolbox in the back and a gas can. And
Nice.
I was driving a chase truck down through Baja without a driver's license.
Awesome.
So that's just the way I kind of grew up,
How rad is
around
that?
racing, doing the stuff. So at my first race, I was 13 years old, and my dad lied on the entry form so I can race. Said I was 15. Yeah, 15 or 16, however it was, to race a quad. And I raced my mom's quad with a pink seat on it. and I just fell in love with it.
It had to be an LT250.
You think?
Was it an LT250?
No, it was an 86 TRX 250.
Okay, all right.
But she got a pink seat on
Yeah.
it. Oh, wait. So we got a question for
you.
you.
Got a pink seat on that.
What was your first bike or ATC? Was it a ATC 70 or was it a PW 50?
ATC 70 when I was 2 years old.
Nice.
Same with me.
That's what you had too?
Yep.
Yeah.
Got one at 4.
Yeah, ATC 70, and then I remember stopping at the desert to pick up a Yamaha Tri-Zinger on the way down to on the way to Buttercup.
Those things were so cool because they had a CVT, right?
Yeah. And they were lighter, faster, and then went from that to a LT80.
Yeah,
Suzuki.
I had one of those.
You had one of those, and your sister.
Yeah, she had one too.
And then went to a little CR80.
Oh,
and
nice.
that was actually the first time I rode in Baja. We went from Tecate to Mike's Sky Ranch, 136 miles
on a CR80.
Nice.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
On a 14-inch wheel.
Yeah.
Isn't that what those
and
are?
we happened to get caught in a snowstorm.
And the CR
it was gnarly.
The CR80s have 0 bottom end too.
Yeah,
like the power curve is just 90 to 100%. That's
Light
it.
switch. Yeah.
Yeah. They have 0 compression after about 150 miles. We found out the hard way.
I can imagine.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I love hearing those stories.
But yeah, I've been doing it a while. I think my first pro race down there was my first pro race anywhere on an ATV and San Felipe 250. I was 18 years old.
Nice.
And we ended up winning. It was a race with a buddy of my dad's. Actually, so do you know who Josh Rowe is? Quad guy. Now he's racing cars.
I want to say his name sounds familiar, but I don't think I've ever met him.
Yeah, he raced works for Yamaha. But Greg Rowe is his dad. And I raced with Greg my first race.
Nice.
So we ended up winning, and that was the last time I raced an ATV after that because people wanted me to race a dirt bike. So, like I said, I'd race anything, and raced a dirt bike a couple times down in Baja. I think my best finish was 3rd in Open Pro.
Nice.
And then got back on racing quads. Actually, my first ride for quads, like factory ride, was for Bombardier at the time.
That's crazy now.
Yeah, and then raced for them for a couple years, then Suzuki for a couple years. Then in 2005 for Baja 1000 was my first race on a Honda, on the factory Honda team, and raced there for 8 years.
Yeah, that's cool, though, especially to have that relationship. So one of the things that we usually ask our guests is, like, obviously people think they know you at the races and stuff, but we'd like to get a little bit more behind the scenes and understand who you are as a person. Like, it's pretty clear your path led to motorsports and to racing and stuff, right? But what was the one thing that changed? Like, so let's just say you're a kid in middle school or you're a kid in high school, right? Like, where did you all of a sudden find out, like, shit, man, I really like doing this. I want to do this as a professional. Like, this is where it's at.
And did you have dirt bike and dirt rider and motocross action in your trapper keeper like we did?
For sure. Yeah, I had all the basic tools there. For me, watching my dad grow up and do it, I honestly wasn't that passionate about it until after high school and started, getting a little faster on the quads. And it was when I was racing with Bombardier, I was like, you know what? Maybe I can do this. And even then, there was no money in it. It was just being able to race for free was the money.
Yeah.
Right.
So just to feed my habit, basically.
Right.
And, I think any racer's that way in the beginning is if you can find someone that'll pay for it, it's great. So then we started doing better and then got picked up by Suzuki and taking things a lot more serious. So it was, and, even today, I still have a day job. We have a custom cabinet shop that we run, and it's great. Polaris lets me go out and race and do a lot of different things I would never be able to do. And then we still have a cabinet shop that we run, and it's, balance of both. So, and it's pretty much always been a balance of both. I've always had a full-time job. Even racing for Honda, it was one of those things, if I didn't live in Southern California, I could probably just race. But living in San Diego is not the cheapest place in the world to live.
Yeah.
So you got to do what you got to do.
Right now, I'm totally wishing I lived where they live because we're having the worst kitchen remodel ever.
Oh, really?
And a cabinet guy who knows what he's doing. Oh man, it would
just
be.
call him up?
Yeah, and knowing his detail, his attention to detail with all his race stuff, I'll bet that's probably where a lot of these parallels work in that, right? Cabinets are all finished. That's finish work.
It is, and I grew up doing both. The cabinet shop my
Nice.
father started, and my dad, he did cabinets his whole life. So it was one of those things where I was sweeping the shop floor at 12 years old and like every kid at 16 years old, I knew more than my dad, and I didn't want to work for him.
Right.
And,
Right.
went out, did different things, worked at Discount Tire, operated heavy equipment, and then ended up going back to work for my dad when I was around 22 years old, and still here. And now we're running it. Chris and I are, and making the best of it.
We were just talking about that earlier on the show. We were talking about how much attention to detail you and Kristen put into your racing program, and we thought a lot of it was because of the business and obviously just because of Kristen's personality and stuff. I love that because Casey and I are both detail-oriented people too, so it's super cool.
Speaking of details,
Yeah.
Kristen says you got back into racing once he realized that's how he'd get a girl like her. Amen, sister.
Yeah.
Perfect.
It was one of our first dates was a 24-hour race down in the desert.
No
That's
way, really?
perfect.
Yeah, I think it was our third date, and she lasted all 24 hours.
That's
awesome.
awesome.
It was hot and windy, and she wasn't complaining, and she was helping in the pits, and it was like, oh man, this is pretty awesome. So it kind of grew from there.
That's awesome.
That is
So
super cool. We'll get into
meant
that.
to be.
Yeah, we'll get into that for sure because it's like when you get two like-minded people like that, it's like the perfect combination, right?
And as you guys, as the years go on, you should change that a little bit because you know how, like my dad did that. I heard a story, 20 years, and it got a little better each time. You should make that your first date.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, our first date, ironically, I took her to a Padre game because I thought she might like baseball. And then she thought I might like baseball, and both of us hate baseball.
That's hilarious.
So, that was our first and last baseball game we went to.
That's great. I love
Just get it out of the way right away, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right, so well, I want to know, what was the reason that you decided to go with 4 wheels instead of 2?
4 wheels good, 2 wheels bad?
I guess. I don't know.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, 4 wheels, for me with quads, it was someone that covered the racing. So someone was paying for it, and I like racing quads too. It's a lot of fun. So for me it was natural too because my dad raced quads for a while, and it just kind of one thing led to the next. So I just kept racing quads, and throughout racing quads I would jump on a dirt bike and do a local race every once in a while, but my focus was on quads. And then when the ATV industry died off around 2012, I wanted to get in with Polaris, start racing cars. But Polaris has people telling them every day, hey, give me a car, let me show you what I can do. It was one of those things where we had to get a car and then show them what we can do. So that's how my relationship started with them. Is we had to go out. I actually financed my first RZR from Coin Power Sports, just so I can go out and race local races. And one thing led to the next, and here we are now.
Not that everybody should go the same route as Wayne or finance a vehicle or anything, but I think that everybody should work for what they get like that. Like there's no reason that and there's so many racers. I mean, you can attest to this, Wayne. Like I get the same thing told to me many times, or even when I was racing the Pro Lucas short course stuff, like, oh dude, you're so lucky, like how did you get that? You got that? No dude, I worked for 7 years before I got this. Like it wasn't easy. Like I bought my own car, I did all this stuff, and the way that Wayne's did it too was like you learn a lot and you respect it a lot.
Yeah, it means a lot more when it's
and I tried throwing around the titles that I won on quads and everything like that, and to I thought it would matter more, but it didn't.
Yeah.
So it was one of those things. There's a lot of people out there driving Polaris product, and Polaris wants to support those people that are out there already doing it.
Right.
So it's just one of those things. You have to go out there and prove what you can do, and then show that you can do it, and then you get the support.
Yeah, and it's a good move on their part. Good move on their part because it's going to show
loyalty.
Yeah, loyalty, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Polaris is a super loyal company. It's the most loyal company I've ever ridden for or driven for. They're a great company.
It's really cool.
They're a great family company.
Yeah, the family orientated part of it, like I really like that. It makes, and I'm not anywhere as close to as you guys with Craig Scanlon. I've only hung out with him a few times, but the times that I've hung out with him, you can see where all of that what do you call it, corporate culture, without the corporate word, that culture stuff comes into play, because He's so much like that person. Oh, Craig just chimed in too.
Yeah.
What did he say?
He said, I'm at Mike and Danielle. Yeah, here it comes. I'm at Mike and Danielle Gardner's house, and they are asking how Wayne fits that bulldog head in a helmet.
Yeah, what is it, a double X helmet or what?
I was joking with Craig last week. My helmet's like a 5-gallon bucket with 2 holes.
Hey, that was that dude. There was a cartoon. What was his name? Help me out.
Who?
Oh, man. Shoot. We'll have to.
Yeah,
I'll come back
to
to that. The dude, he was Buckethead. He literally had the upside down 5-gallon bucket and the holes cut out.
Was it like a
old school cartoon? Darn it.
So all right,
my bad.
So you go into 4 Wheels and you're like, all right,
Fat Albert.
Fat Albert?
It's not Fat Albert, but that was the cartoon.
It was the show?
Yes.
We'll have to see. If you can figure out who it is, we'll post it on social media or something. Man, so wait, actually, let's finish this conversation off. So I have a big ass head too. My hat is 7 3/4. What's yours? Like
8.
I gotta go like all the
3/8.
I got to go all the way to the end of the hat, like as far as it goes.
Yeah, I have to go like the last 2 snaps.
Yeah,
on most hats, and some hats just don't even fit.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just not happening.
So my dad's got a little bit bigger head than me.
I look like I'm wearing a yarmulke sometimes.
Right on. Well, thanks, Craig, for the joke. I really appreciate you brightening up the show, dude. Yeah. All right, so you decide that you're like, okay, I'm going into cars then. Like, this quad thing has been good. Like, I've got some championships. I've won some races. What's the next step? You said you'd finance your own razor. That's a pretty hefty, like, decision-making process after being at the top of the quad game.
Yeah, it was killing me to spend my own money to go racing, but we did a little bit. And then we also, I got a call from Alonso Lopez in 2014, wanting to know if I wanted to drive his razor at the 500. So I said, yeah, I'll drive it. And we did. We didn't do very well. We had some mechanical issues and stuff. But I had a lot of fun behind the wheel. And then nothing else came around. So Baja 1000, he was racing again, but this time he was racing with a guy named Terry Huey from Canada, Chinese gentleman. And Terry and I hit it off real well. And after the race, Terry contacted me and wanted me to build a race team for him. And he wanted to be a driver, and I was going to be a driver. And that's when we had that Terabit Racing. And we contacted Jimco, and because that was the best car builder around that I thought of at the time. And Terry wanted the best car. So we had Jimco build us a razor, XP 1000, and went out. Our first race down in Baja was the Baja 500, and we won that one.
Dang.
And it was, I drove it by myself that time.
Yeah, I remember
And then
that.
we went and won. We went and raced the Imperial Valley 250 race for Score right after the 500. We won that.
Was that that race that you won with the Terabit car at the? I think you just said it was the 500. Was that the one? I don't mean this as a derogatory comment. That put you on the map in the side-by-side world. Was that like right when you started being like, oh,
yeah,
I'm here. I'm ready to play.
Yeah, it did. You know, a lot of people knew that I was a quad racer, and then in the side-by-sides you have to earn your wings, I guess. And that one, we won that race. We won it by a pretty good margin. But a lot of people thought it was a fluke. And, word got back to me like, oh, yeah, got lucky. So kind of lit a fire under us, and we went out and raced it for about 50 rates.
Yeah, that's like the worst thing that you can tell a winning side-by-side drivers. You got lucky.
Totally. Or tell somebody they can't do something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
So we went out and raced that race, and we won that one too. And then went and did the Baja 1000, and Terry drove the first couple 100 miles in that race. Then I got in. And we ended up pulling that one off too. Dang. So after that, we got the attention of Polaris, and Terry and I raced together on the same team the following year. But he did not do any races that next year. He was kind of funding the whole thing. Not kind of. He definitely was funding the whole thing, and it was a lot of fun. But just me being a racer and him being a corporate guy. We had different ideas about the cars and stuff, and we got along really good. It just, he didn't get to make it to the races, so I think he kind of lost interest in them because he backed out of the 500, backed out of the 1,000 because of business reasons, and just lost interest. And then lucky for me at that time. I had some conversation with Craig Scanlon and Jason DeFucia at Polaris, and they believed in us and picked us up. And they got a twofer with us because Kristen really wanted to race, so they ended up supporting Kristen as well. And they went out on a limb with her. They said yes, and then we got the car, and then we took her racing. So before her first race, she had never really driven a RZR.
Wow.
So it was it was a big leap of faith for Polaris.
Yeah,
but it's paid off pretty good, I believe.
I don't think when we talked to her in her episode, I don't think she mentioned that part of it. But that is really cool, though. So a few things that I think from something like that is, like, I just asked if that was the race that put him on the map. Well, he's been working his ass off. He's finally getting to where he's, like, doing well, right? And then Polaris takes note. But for Polaris to take note, he won 3 of the biggest races on the planet in a UTV. Like, that's a serious effort, right?
And a testament to their humility and being humble people. Because how could you not want to just drop the mic after, oh, it was a fluke, watch this, boom, boom, boom.
Exactly.
That's freaking awesome.
Well, it's a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication, and a lot of teams that were there doing it then and doing it now have that hard work and that dedication. I had the benefit of growing up in Baja and the experience of prior races down there for 15 years.
Right.
So it's, a lot of that stuff comes into play, and it worked out well for me.
Well, I mean, everybody knows the whole motocross thing. When you're at your home track, you always do well, right? Like, you got to give yourself credit for that, because nobody's at fault for knowing a track.
Right.
So, man, that is so cool to hear that story. Like, and I can just see it myself. Like, and you can too, Casey, being a racer. Like, the amount of work that it takes to do that. Like, there's so much. And when you actually finally get, like, let's just say you got a call from Craig or you talked with him, and you're like, yes, it paid off. Like, I got it. Like, I'm so stoked now. Like, that's the success, right? But now you all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, I got to follow through now. So you won these races. Like, what's next?
It's always harder to keep it. I say, when you win a championship, sometimes you win, and you find it a lot harder to keep that number plate than it was to get the number plate.
Yeah, I bet.
Everyone, you got a target on your back, and it's you got to keep bobbing and weaving and getting faster to keep it there.
Yeah, 100%.
So that's why we always say, you always got to constantly evolve, and you always have to get faster, because everyone wants your spot. If you're one of the top guys, everyone wants that top spot, and everyone wants to knock you off of it.
So who's the one that comes up with the ideas then? Is it you guys? Do you have collective ideas from Polaris then? You're like, when you say, I want to get to the next level, are you like, all right, you know what? I was just right before bed, I was thinking about this. Let's ask Craig tomorrow and see if we can execute this.
Yeah, a lot of it's just ideas with us and our own team. It's I'll come up with something, and I would say 30% of it works. 70% of it was bullshit.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things. We spent a lot of money in the wrong direction before, and sometimes we spend money and it goes in the right direction. But you have to have a willing team around you to do that. And luckily, our mechanic is also a mechanical engineer, and he's really smart and probably the best person I've ever worked with as far as work ethic and getting stuff done, doing what he says he's going to do, attention to detail. He's great at that. So if I have a harebrained idea, he'll make it happen, whether it's a good idea or bad. Sometimes he tells me it's a bad idea and we stop right there. But sometimes they're good enough to where both of us think they're good until we try them and they fail. But every once in a while we get lucky and hit the nail on the head.
Yeah, and you have to have those failures. Otherwise, you're not pushing forward.
Dude, yeah, 100%.
Oh, yeah.
That goes back to what we were talking about before, about everybody saying, like the grass is always greener. No, it's not. Like, we always have, 10 failures before we have that first success. So,
and in my opinion, these championships are won. It's a whole thing that makes it happen. But in my mind, it's that 2:00 wrench session, right? It's 2:00 a.m. Everybody's tired, and you're like, we could just get this last thing done. Those are the moments that make it, where everyone else goes, yeah, we'll do it tomorrow, right?
Yeah, no.
Nope.
Yeah.
It's that. Let's get
it's
that.
It's the long, hard hours, and like you said, the 2 a.m. nights or the 5 a.m., 4 a.m. mornings,
right?
That make or you'll lose a championship if you don't put those hard work and those hard hours in. And everyone has those. You look at teams on short course doing the same thing. Like, it's heartbreaking watching RJ Anderson blow a motor because someone took his radiator out in the short course race. But him and his crew are there till 2:00 in the morning putting a new motor in.
Right.
That's what it takes to win championships. You can't give up. You can't just throw the towel in because it's hard, or do a half-assed job because it's difficult. Racing's difficult.
Dude,
anything in life, if you want to succeed, it's going to be difficult.
Right.
Those are some words to live by right there. I'm writing that
100.
down to clip that one, man.
Perfect.
So I actually really enjoy having these conversations because it gives a lot of insight as to what people can do on their own to have a successful program. But what do you think – how do I say this? What do you think has been the biggest part of your success? You're obviously a hard worker. You go fast. You have business acumen. What makes that success? Is it all three of them? Is there one that shines? Like, what is it?
I think a big part of people's success is learning how to surround yourself with great people.
Mm-hmm.
Great team. It's off-road racing. I tell people all the time, the easiest part is driving the car or riding the quad or riding the bike. But it's surrounding yourself with the right people and learning how to keep those people around that makes you successful.
Absolutely.
It's there's a lot of guys that have a lot of talent in driving that don't have a team behind them or can't put it all together. So it's I don't know. I don't know if you can put your finger on one thing or another. It's just a combination of everything. But like you say again, it's having the right people around you.
Yeah, Brett Carpenter says if it were easy, everyone would do it.
Yeah, that's 100%. Yep. Well, there's a lot of people that try it too. Those resumes come across Brett's desk every day for people asking, just like Wayne said. There's a million people asking for that, right? But that's the reason. That's the reason that I wanted to ask that question, is because it really is a difficult question.
Like the dedication like our team has. Brett saw it this last week. We were at Vegas to Reno, and it's the day before the race. After tech, we go out testing alternator pulleys because we think we can make an improvement.
Yeah,
and let us run a little higher top speed without burning up a belt on the alternator. And we get out there, we figure out the problem. We don't have the right pulley, so we sat in the desert for 2.5 hours while part of our crew drove to Pahrump to get the pulley from an alternator off of a 6.0 diesel, or no, 7.3 Ford diesel alternator pulley. Was the exact diameter and dimension that we needed.
Nice.
So we were out the day before the race testing that, trying to make a little bit more gain, a little bit more improvement on the car. And all my guys are happy to do it. They're excited to do that and make those little gains. So there wasn't one whining or one complaint.
Thank God for having Google now,
so you can you
can figure out what size alternator pulley.
No, that was old school trial and error.
Oh, really?
We had to take it off, and then once we got it off the car, we had to go to Pahrump and go to the auto parts store and find out exactly what pulley was. So the guys at the auto parts store, luckily for us, were willing to pull all the alternators off the shelves and match up the pulleys.
I'm totally picturing
three different auto parts stores.
I'm picturing AutoZone, right?
And those guys hated him for doing it. Like, no, we're not going to go open every box.
What engine size? AC, 4-wheel drive, 2-wheel drive, what year?
Yeah, exactly.
No kidding. Yeah, that's why it took 2.5 hours.
Right.
Oh my gosh,
but
man.
It's times like that make or break, races and championships. And, this time it didn't pay off for us. The alternator didn't fail, but something else had a problem.
Yeah, but you can always fix the other thing, too.
So, Brett, this has to be a good one, too, I hope. Thank you, Brett. Brett Carpenter, ask Wayne about the Ford Taurus. There's got to be something about a Ford Taurus. Yes, all right, it's going to be good.
So we were.
Thanks, Brett.
We were sitting there.
I think everybody's got a good Ford Taurus story. We do.
Yeah. So we were sitting there and waiting for Danny and Richie to get back from Pahrump AutoZone, and Brett Carpenter and I were having a contest to see if we could throw rocks in a barrel. And this guy pulls up. Pretty strange looking guy. Pulls up in a.
Wait, paint the picture a little bit better. Where are you at? In the middle of the desert?
We're in the desert in Pahrump, Nevada.
Out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah,
by the
out in
mirror,
middle of
right?
nowhere.
By the mirror, right? Isn't that
Yeah.
mirror thing out there?
What's that?
Isn't that big mirror thing out there?
No, this is in Pahrump, Nevada. This is up and over the mountain. This is, in the middle of nowhere. It's the brothel capital of the world. If that tells you anything.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, paint the picture of the scenery and the area.
All right.
So we're there, and all of a sudden this guy comes ripping down the dirt road and almost gets to a stop before he throws his car in park, and he jumps out of the car, very excited, and he yells over at us, "Were you the guys here last night?" And we were there the night before testing. And I'm like, shit, I don't know what to do now. But I'm like, yeah. And we're kind of all backing up a little bit. And all of a sudden he stops talking and he goes and opens his back door and reaches down real fast. And Brett and myself and a couple other guys are starting to like run towards the back of the truck because we don't know. We think he's going to pull a gun out or something. We're like, what the? And he just rips out this wheel chalk and he goes, "I got your wheel chalk." Like,
no way.
Okay. Apparently I left the wheel chalk there, and this guy knew that we were there last night and it came back and found us. But it was pretty funny and sketchy all at the same time.
Came in super hot too, and Brett Carpenter said, picture a full-on mullet dude with no teeth and no shirt.
Ronnie Anderson style.
Yes. Yeah. Sunken cheeks, no teeth, no shirt. It looked like picture a 64-year-old Joe Dirt.
Yeah, he just got done talking to all the guys from Breaking Bad.
Yeah, exactly.
And I feel like he threw it in park while it was still going.
That's what he said, before he stopped.
Yeah. No, the car, he was talking to us and the car's still rocking back and forth.
Nice.
Just really binding on that Ford Taurus transmission really good.
Yeah.
It's funny because
awesome.
Casey and I can totally live up to that scenario because we grew up in the desert. There wasn't any paved roads or anything, and there was a lot of dudes like this around that would totally roll up on you like that, but most of the time they had bad intentions.
It would have been.
That's what we thought. That's when we all started kind of backing up towards the back of the box van. Yeah, it was pretty comical though.
After the dust settled, did you think about asking him to measure his pulley on his alternator?
On his Ford Taurus?
Yeah. No, we just kind of wanted him to move along.
Yeah,
we had a rock throwing contest to get back to.
Yeah, right. Nice. I love it.
Dude, that's so crazy. You never know what you're going to run into with your dirt life, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good
I feel like that same thing doesn't happen when they're out testing F1 cars. I just don't think that
I
happens.
don't think
No?
so.
Oh, man. That's a good story. Thanks, Brett Carpenter,
Yeah,
for
it
bringing
is.
that one up. You got any other funny stories like that, man? Because down in Mexico, I'm sure you got some funny stuff happen down there, too.
Oh, there's all kinds, but it's
15 years of it, I would say so.
It's always an adventure.
Yeah.
Always an adventure, especially down in Baja. You run into some unique people.
Yeah, I can only imagine. So, shoot, I totally lost track. Thanks a lot, Brett. I really appreciate it, man. So
Here's your wheel chocks.
and he just gives it back. He's like, oh, shit, I left it. All right, so what do you guys do day to day then? So the racing program is obviously cool. You guys love doing it. But day to day, you run the cabinet shop. You still have a family. You guys, I know that you guys go out. You do off-roading and things like that. Like, what's a day in the life of Wayne?
Monday through Friday, basically, you get up and get going to work. Go up to the cabinet shop. We have a unique situation where everything's on our property. So cabinet shops on the property and the race shops on the property. And so most mornings I just walk to work unless I got an appointment early and make sure the guys are going to the cabinet shop. And then Danny usually rolls into the race shop about 9 o'clock and gives me a good excuse to get out of my office and walk up to the race shop and see what Danny and Poncho are up to, go over what's going to happen on the cars that day and whatnot. And that's about it. Just basic like anybody else. Go to work, go home, play with the kids, watch the kids.
Well, you make it sound so easy, but that's a lot of stuff that happens for those 8 hours in between, right?
No, there's 8 hours would be easy. Usually it's about 10 to 12.
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah, it's usually at the cabinet shop around 7, and then finally come back down to the house 6 to 7 at night.
Yeah, just depending on what needs to be done today. How much wrenching you need to do on the car, right?
Yeah. Unfortunately or fortunately, Danny doesn't let me wrench on the car, really. he gets offended when I touch his wrenches.
Uh-oh.
So I usually wander around, look at stuff. Every once in a while, he'll let me help do something, but yeah, he's pretty controlling of the cars.
Well, that's good though.
Which I'm fine with.
Yeah, and it sounds like he's good at taking responsibility too. Yeah, Craig just said you guys got a super legit setup at the Matlock compound, so that's cool. Well, tell us a little bit about the fun that you guys have. Two things I was going to ask was what you guys do on the weekends with the kids. Like I know they're getting into 170s and stuff, but before you get to that, can you please tell us about this river rafting trip that you guys had this past weekend? It looks so fun.
Yeah, we had a blast. We started doing that last year after
Where
Vegas
is it
Reno. The Truckee River in Reno.
Oh, okay.
It goes right through downtown Reno.
Yeah.
And it's a blast. We every year prior, I think I've done Vegas Reno like 13 times or so, and we always end up sitting all day Saturday in a hotel bar. It's all smoky, and you don't really have that much fun. So we decided last year, like, hey, we decided in the morning, let's go whitewater rafting. So I made some phone calls and found a place that would take us, and the guide was like Crocodile Dundee, but the no fun version. So we had to wear, yeah, it was horrible. We had to wear life vests. We had to wear these helmets.
A life jacket.
Yeah, a life jacket, the whole 9 yards, and these little tubes. And said you can't drink beer, you can't do this. It's dangerous, and you could die. And come to find out, you're not going to die because you can just stand up. It's not that deep.
way to have him kill the vibe.
Right.
Yeah. So he got us all pumped up, and then halfway down the river, we got old ladies passing us drinking wine out of a box. We're like, okay. So this year we did it right. We went and we got a big giant zebra raft, a big fun island, packed them full of coolers, and we had some other little rafts around us. And we just paid that guy to shuttle us up there and shuttle us back.
Dude.
So we had an absolute blast. It was our whole crew, so 17 of us, and then I think 6 of Scanlon's guys.
Dude.
So we had a blast. And then we sat on the river and finished off the coolers. And Craig went and bought everyone pizza, and we had a great time until dark.
Like these stories, these little escapades, you may not have seen it, but you could see like them going down the lazy river and stuff. And of course, there's little stuff that happens, right? People fall in the water and just little stuff happens. But this story is like my favorite part about the racing
100%.
family is because it doesn't matter, you win, you lose, whatever. They forgot about all that and just had fun together the next day.
Totally.
And most people don't even do that, like scheduling it on a weekend. You can't get your family members all together to go to a freaking family reunion. They're doing it off on a one extra day.
Right. Totally.
So cool.
Yeah, if you're not having fun doing it, you're not doing it right. It's this whole thing is just fun.
Kristen keeps chiming in, dude. What does it say?
Ask Wayne about Craig's Scorpion.
What the heck is Craig's Scorpion?
So we're going down the river.
Brett wants to hear about that.
I'm on the fun island with the cooler because someone has to watch the cooler. So Craig is on the tube, and he's trying to paddle in front of us, trying to cut us off. And he's paddling, and he's laying on his stomach while he's doing so. And he's paddling,
in the
hits a rapid. In the attack position. Hits a rapid about that deep. And his tube comes to a stop. And it noses over, and Craig, his mouth was open, and his feet came up and hit his head into the water and knocked his hat off.
Nice. Scorpion.
Got it. He picked his head up, and he's just shocked that this happened. And I think he thought someone shoved his head in the water until he realized it was his foot because no one was around him. And we all saw it. We were just dying laughing.
It was hilarious. He's like, no, my body's not that flexible. I can't do that to myself.
Yeah, he didn't think he was that flexible. Yeah, but he caught his hat, though. He did catch the hat.
Oh, that's my awesome. God. That is really funny.
Yeah, we agree, Jeffrey. Family is the key word.
Yeah, it really is. Man, don't you wish that you had some of these moments like just on GoPro like the whole time? Like if there was something filming you guys the whole time to be able to catalog those.
Yeah, we had a drone over us. There would be a lot of bloopers.
Oh my gosh.
But the good news is the story can always get better because there wasn't a drone. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they do get better. They get better every time you tell them.
Yeah,
totally.
The stories.
This thing was like 87 feet deep, and I did 4 flips.
You should have seen what
Rattlesnakes everywhere.
Yeah. There was an alligator almost bit Craig.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
man.
we had a great time.
Well,
And it's fun. We're lucky to be able to do it with our whole team and everyone. You know, we invited other teams to join us, trying to get people to go. And a lot of people want to get to Reno and they just go home.
yeah.
And it's like, man, you're here. You might as well enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly. And really respect the time that you have and the blessing that we all have doing this racing stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think anybody that went with us is like, man, I wish I wouldn't have done that. I wish I would have went home and sat on the couch.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, did the boys go with you as well or no?
No, they don't go to Vegas to Reno. It's just
It's too
long
much,
time
yeah.
in the chase truck.
Yeah, I was going to say
Yeah,
it's pretty gnarly.
Yeah, long, hot day, and things go bad. It could get really long, and at that point, some of the adults are whining. I know I'm whining, so I can imagine an 8-year-old and a 10-year-old.
Yeah, so Craig Scanlon just said, "Thank God Wayne didn't get that on the GoPro."
Yeah.
that would have been some serious
It's
blackmail.
all up here, though.
Yep.
It's up here.
Craig calls you and he's like, "Hey Wayne, we're gonna have to cut your budget back for racing." You're like, "Craig, remember the GoPro footage I got?
Yeah,
Sorry,
right.
buddy."
Yeah.
Quid pro quo.
I got plenty of other stuff.
So, all right. Well, let's talk about the boys a little bit then. So, you guys still do like having fun. Like, I know that they like having fun in their Razor 170s too, right?
Oh yeah. They unfortunately the last race they were able to do was the Met 400. Just the dirt series. They had one event since then, and it happened to be the same weekend as the Silver State 300. So we weren't able to take them there, and then the events since then have been canceled. So they're just jonesing to go racing, and I feel bad, but there's nothing that we can do to go racing with them. So
Well, UTV
as soon as they
Worlds,
get
maybe?
fired back up again. What's that?
The UTV Worlds, maybe?
Oh, they're signed up.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, they're signed up. Whether we race or not, just because it's so close to other races, they'll be racing for sure.
Oh, right on.
We'll be there supporting them for sure, 100%.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's we got a lot of our crew that are going to go, and yeah, it's going to be fun. So as soon as they can get back to it, they love it. Wyatt, my oldest, is in RS1 now, so he's racing the RS1 junior class, and
Right
then
on.
Clayton is in a 170.
Oh, perfect.
And how
luckily,
involved are they in the prep and stuff? I'm sure you're teaching them up that too.
Yeah, try to teach them a little bit. Their focus level isn't very high.
Right.
So, we were down to the desert for New Year's, and Wyatt had a big crash in his RS1 and ripped the front end off the thing.
Oh.
So I worked with him on that, and he actually turned every wrench on the car
Nice.
to put the whole front end back. He took it all off and put it all back together all himself.
Awesome.
Nice.
So he did the torque wrenches, he did the wrenches, the screwdrivers, everything to disassemble the whole thing and put it all back together.
And then
So-
Dad just looks over it and makes sure it's good.
Did
Yeah, I just watched him do the whole thing, just every step.
you hold the
And,
flashlight, and did he yell at you?
Yeah, no. Yeah, flashlight's the number one way to get into an argument. Either a flashlight or have someone guide you backing up a trailer or something.
Oh my gosh, those are
There's two good ways to get into an argument.
those are some great dad memories for sure.
Dude,
Flashlights and trailers for
100%.
sure.
Yeah.
Mike-
And in trying to back a trailer up with someone holding a flashlight,
Oh,
that
geez.
just doubles your chances.
Yeah, exactly. Like, right in the mirror, so they think that you can see better.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, they're really into the racing. They love it. We give them an option. I don't ever want to push them into racing.
Right.
Just I don't want them to force them to do it because I like to do it.
Right.
And that's the same way my dad was. My first race I didn't do till I was 13, and I didn't do another one till I was like 17. Just because I wasn't into it. But as long as they want to do it, I want to keep them doing it. I think it's a good family sport. You go to a baseball game or a soccer game, and you have mom, dad, the other kids in the family all sitting watching one person play a sport.
Right.
When you go to
Right.
an off-road race like a dirt series or something like that, Kristen and I are both out there in RS1s. Clayton's out there in his little 170, and Wyatt's out there in his RS1. So everyone gets to go have fun.
That's pretty awesome.
And we all have stories that
Yeah.
we can talk about for weeks about the track and the turns and the jumps, and the kids get so animated with it.
Yeah.
And it's the dirt series is fun because the kids race is the biggest race of the day.
And it's all on moto tracks, kids.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's super cool.
On these, like, 170s or
Yeah, it's
all
super
the
cool.
side-by-sides?
Or side-by-side.
Oh,
Big
okay,
ones
the whole
too,
thing.
yeah.
Okay, got it. Cool.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's the kids get really into it. So, we do that with them, and then we go, we have a family place out of the Colorado River. So take them tubing and skiing and all that stuff too.
Yeah, I was going to ask what other stuff
Awesome.
what other stuff are they into, but it sounds like they're into the stuff mom and dad's into.
Yeah, exactly. And then my father-in-law is really into fishing. So the kids, like when we were at Vegas, Reno, they were down at the bay in San Diego fishing and doing stuff like that.
Oh, cool.
So my oldest really enjoys fishing.
Did they catch anything for you guys to
my
cook?
My youngest is, what's that?
Did they catch anything for you guys to cook?
Oh, no, they got a catch and release. I want nothing to do with it.
Oh, okay.
Good.
Yeah, I don't want to clean that stuff. And they don't like eating it really. So
you got enough race prep to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what other stuff do the boys like doing then? Do they like do baseball or anything? Actually, you know what a better question is?
No, they don't really.
Are they doing
They
school?
don't do any of the sports before before the whole COVID thing. They were doing jiu-jitsu and stuff like that, but that's all been shut down. So
That's awesome.
it's just and playing football, flag football. But yeah, it's everything with COVID's kind of shut down. So
they're not
now
doing
we just
school?
go mountain biking with them. And what's that?
They're not doing school?
They start back Labor Day.
I think that's when they start here in Arizona too or something, don't they?
So, yeah, some have already, and some
It's
will.
Okay.
the day after Labor Day, they go back to school full time. But they go to a school they go to school Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Kristen homeschools on Mondays and Fridays.
Oh, I like that schedule. That's
Yeah,
what I
that's
had to
awesome.
do in high school too. Mike Gardner said he wishes he could have seen that stunt that Craig pulled.
Yeah, Jeffrey says backing up a trailer is the true test of a marriage.
Dude,
So true.
it really is.
Especially after a long weekend.
So, you guys like going camping and staying outdoors and stuff too, living your dirt life. You guys do it all the time.
Yeah, we're going up to the Sierras here in 2 weeks. We're going to go up there, up to Kernville.
Right on.
And go hiking and fishing and stuff like that, and the giant sequoias and stuff.
Nice.
So always like to be outdoors. I don't really care to be inside that much.
Well, so we got a couple last questions for you, but if you can yell at Kristen and tell her to come back in for the rapid fire Q&A, that'd be rad while we ask you these last couple questions.
Yeah, let me grab her. Or maybe she's probably watching
maybe she can watch it and head in. But a couple of the other questions that we had for you were just to kind of figure out. 2020 has just been a messed up year, obviously. But like, what's on the roster for you guys, for Wayne and for Kristen, and like, I mean, I guess 2021 is the next year that we could talk about.
Yeah. It's looking good. It's hopefully this COVID stuff's gone away, and we can get back to racing like normal and go to the events. So we have the Baja 500 coming up. We have the Baja 1000, UTV World Championships, and then next year we have some stuff we're working on right now that we'll be able to talk about later on, and some races hopefully we're going to get to. No one knows with COVID.
I love that. He's keeping us in suspense, dude. It's good. You got to put your microphone closer.
Looking forward to doing King of the Hammers again if we can, but I guess San Felipe 250 scheduled the same weekend as King of the Hammers now.
Oh, crap.
So I don't know that we'll be able to make that. And then going to do
Same weekend?
Same weekend.
Man.
Yeah. So we'll see how that goes. And then we have Baja 500, the whole score series next year. And hopefully get down to do like the Nora rally.
Yeah, that's fun.
The Nora Mex 1000, or we really want to go do the Sonora rally too. So that just do some different races.
Yeah.
And try some different things.
So that actually brings up two good points that you brought up right there. Is like, it sucks that those 2 weekends there's 2 races in that one weekend for KOH and San Felipe, right? But the good thing about all that is like now you can actually try to do more stuff because there's so many new genres of racing for UTVs and so many cool races coming up.
Yeah, there's a ton of different opportunities. It's just trying to pick and choose which ones you can get to and make a legit effort.
Yeah.
The last thing I want to do, or Kristen wants to do, or Polaris wants us to do, or anybody, is try to go too many races and you have a half-ass effort.
Yeah.
It's all or nothing. You got to be able to put 100% into everything you do,
right,
or don't do it.
Yep.
So and that's why at the end of the year, us racing, doing like hang on, my phone's messing up. There we go. Us doing World Championship and then the 500 or the 1,000. It's really tough for us.
Yeah.
So
I agree with that comment 100%, though, because there was so many people that are like, "Oh, you just drive a UTV. Why don't you do desert racing too?" I'm like, "No, dude, I have to focus on the short course thing. It's too difficult already. I can't be doing all this different stuff because then both of them would suck."
Yep.
Well, yeah, you have to focus on certain things and you have to try to do it well. Otherwise, your sponsors will just go away.
Yeah.
There's no sense in sponsoring someone that's going to do a half-ass effort.
Exactly.
So it's tough to pick and choose, but hopefully, us and our crew and our sponsors, we can get to the right events and make things happen.
Well, so some of the stuff that I say that you guys have been doing a really good job is we talked about ROI and return on investment a few episodes ago and how to get through this COVID stuff and you're not racing and all these different things, right? Well, it's really cool to see who steps up and who still keeps in contact with all of their fans and who's doing these things to help the brands that help them. And you guys are doing a really good job with that. I know a lot of stuff that Kristen does, that you do, to make sure that you're still giving that return on the investment for all your sponsors, even if you're not sitting at the races or racing.
Yeah, it's something I know is hugely important, and it's also something that Kristen does a lot better at than I do, is like the social media stuff and keeping up on all that stuff. I get caught up in the day-to-day race cars, making things better, fixing things, talking to the sponsors on the phone, where she does really well with all the social media stuff.
Yeah, well,
I definitely lack on that.
You wouldn't want to be on social media posting a bunch of stuff if you were helping Casey with his remodel, because then he'd be like, "What the heck, man? Why are you putting all these pictures?"
I don't think we wouldn't be in that situation because it would be perfect. I'm sure of it.
It would be nailed.
It would be seamless. I know it.
So we're going to make sure that Casey goes home and says that you do basket weaving or something, so he doesn't tell his wife that you do cabinets. So all right. So first of all, we really appreciate you guys taking the time with us tonight. I know you have the family night and stuff like that, and obviously you're tired from Vegas to Reno, but thank you very much for doing all that stuff with us. And I mean, clearly we wish you the best on what you guys have going in the future. So to get a hold of Wayne, if you want to, you can look at our social media at the Dirt Life Show, and you can click on some of the latest posts that we've done, or you can do, I think it's at Wayne_Matlock, and you can find him on Instagram. And you probably got a Facebook page too, but I think Instagram is the way to go these days for off-road racers. So you can check him out. He's got tons and tons of cool content on there. They do a very, very good job with their stories. You can also check out Kristen's page as well. She's linked there. But let's get into this rapid fire Q&A. Case, you want to throw out the first question for them?
Bang bang.
All right.
Pow pow. That's what we're supposed to say.
That's how you say it?
Yeah, I guess.
All right, go.
Shoot. Okay. Where is it? My bad. iRacing or real racing? We know this answer.
Yeah, come on, really?
All right, so both of them are going to go real racing.
Yep.
How about this? Let's throw you for a twist here. If you can't race in the desert, if for some reason you're not allowed to race in the desert in a UTV, do you race short course or do you race rally?
That's a good one.
Rally.
You're going rally?
Oh, yeah.
Rally.
What's the reason? I just want to know, why don't you want to come knock down, drag out short course style?
Because it's closer to desert racing.
Yeah, rally's closer to desert, and short course isn't my style.
There you go.
I don't have the right temperament for short course, I don't think. So I don't like people bumping into me and everything else. So I like to do my own thing. And if I break, if I DNF, it's my fault.
Yeah,
not because some people ran into me.
That does suck. I have beef with one person still to this day for doing that stuff. Do you guys pay attention to motocross at all?
A little bit, not much anymore.
Let me interrupt real quick. Brett Carpenter says we really appreciate the efforts the Matlock's put in on and off the racetrack. One of the best families in off-road. Just want to throw that out before we miss it.
Yeah, we agree too. we've had the opportunity to follow them on social media for the past couple years, so we definitely like that, and I appreciate them taking the time to share some of the stories and actually putting Craig on Front Street too. That was pretty cool.
100%.
Okay, so
on GoPro.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to switch this question up since you guys aren't necessarily watching motocross all the time. In the trophy truck class, do you pick Menzies or Baldwin?
Profile.
Menzies.
Profile questions.
Yeah, profiling questions, all of them, always. All right, what's the next one, Case?
Favorite food?
Mexican.
Yeah, Mexican for sure.
Nice.
What do you guys?
Tacos.
Tacos? You're going tacos?
She knows.
All right.
Yeah.
Little Smokies or pizza rolls?
Oh,
Ooh,
Yes.
he's leaning.
I love
He's
that's a
it.
leaning.
tough one.
I like Little Smokies.
Yeah,
Yes.
they're both good.
Yeah.
It depends on what kind of night it is, honestly.
What kind of
We're keto
stuff?
people, so
What kind of stuff's in
Yeah.
what kind of stuff's in the cooler? Is that what you're saying? And then it matches up.
Yeah, exactly.
Or is it-
I'm supposed to be on the keto diet, so I'm supposed to say Little Smokies.
yeah.
Exactly. I thought maybe he meant what kind of night it is. Like, is it 2 a.m.? Get that last gusset welded up?
Maybe.
Yeah. There's a lot of factors.
Yeah, exactly.
Favorite soda?
What is it? Soda?
Favorite soda.
Um.
I'm not.
Well, you drink your Fresca with your tequila.
Yeah, I like Fresca, but mixed with tequila.
Nice.
We
That's a
don't
good
drink soda really. I like cream soda.
Dang,
So-
it's been a long time since I had one of those.
A cream soda?
Yeah.
That is a. We were just talking about root beer today, actually, too. So,
It's an acquired taste. Pizza rolls do burn the roof of your mouth, Brett.
dude, every time that happens every time.
Yeah.
So these are profiling questions because usually when we ask about Little Smokies or pizza rolls, it usually you can tell a person how good they are at the campfire if they pick pizza rolls or Little Smokies. Like, because if they pick Little Smokies, you know that they kick ass at the campfire and they're good at having fun. And the pizza roll guy is gonna watch a movie. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna hang out and Netflix and chill kind of thing.
Or weld that gusset up because there's a microwave in the shop.
Oh, but usually that's the guy with the Subway sandwich half eaten that just pulls it out and munches it and then welds up the gusset.
That's true.
So
That's true.
all right, here we go. Uggs or Crocs?
Definitely Uggs.
100% Uggs.
No one should ever be outside with Crocs on.
So we always bring this up, and there's only a few people that have caught on. Do you know what putting Crocs in four-wheel drive is?
What?
I actually saw it on a movie.
Yeah, so they start doing it. Everybody's catching on. You just pull that little flap up in the back on the heel.
I don't even know enough about him to know that joke.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
I just know you're not supposed to wear them outside.
You have a strap on the heel.
Oh, you got a strap on the
If
heel?
you want to use it.
Oh,
yes,
okay.
exactly.
I gotcha.
And it folds up convertible style.
Yes, but it's called putting them in four-wheel drive. All the Southern boys do it.
I don't have any for the record.
funny.
I'm with you. I wouldn't be caught dead with them for the record.
Oh, I don't have any Crocs. I don't have any Uggs either.
How about most?
The fact that you guys know not that much about the Crocs kind of surprising me.
Well, you know, when we get into something, we get into it.
I don't have TV, so social media kind of showed it to me.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so this could be for either of you or both together. Most memorable race.
Last year's Baja 1000 for me. It was my first Baja 1000 win, so I'm still kind of glowing.
I'll bet. That's awesome.
Definitely
for me,
a
it would
superstar.
probably be, it'd probably be 2018 Baja 250, San Felipe 250. I crossed the line in first and got first turbo, and Kristen crossed the line in second and got second overall and first naturally
class,
aspirated.
yeah.
That
So
is
we went
that is awesome.
1-2-1-1. So it was a pretty rare thing to have husband and wife celebrating the same win. You know, down there, it was a lot of fun.
I think
Something
I remember.
never thought.
Yeah, I think I remember seeing that, and I remember you guys were pretty emotional after it too.
Yeah, it was
Heck
a
yeah.
lot of fun.
It was really cool.
Yeah, it was a good race.
Did the
Spraying
boy?
the champagne together.
Yeah,
Dude, that would be super cool.
No kidding.
What about what about your favorite race not in a side by side then? Because that's interesting to me.
it would be 2008 San Felipe 250 again.
Really?
He likes that place.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was. I went into that race kind of an underdog. I had a longtime partner that decided to go to a different team, and a lot of people thought we would not pull that off. And we came across the finish line. I got on the quad, and I was in second, and I was able to chase him down. My partner, he's still a good friend, chased him down and was able to pass him, and came into the finish line, and his team was not expecting me. So that was the best part.
Oh, wow. That is cool.
That is
cool. It
cool.
was a good race.
I imagine like that last mile before he got there, he's like, yep, I can't wait to see the smile on these guys' faces when they see me.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I still remember my dad, like their whole team was expecting them, and our team was kind of expecting them too because they were ahead. And I remember seeing like their faces, they were kind of cheering because we were both on Hondas. And then I remember seeing their faces kind of go down, and my dad jumped from the back of the crowd to the front of the crowd. And that was just awesome. My dad and Kristen. Yeah. It was a lot of fun.
Oh,
So
yeah.
cool.
Jeffrey
Love that.
Ricker chimed in and said that his favorite race was Baja 500 when Kristen took the overall, too. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably my favorite, honestly.
Yeah.
That was a good one,
Beating
huh?
all the boys.
Well, so there's two questions here then. Did you eat ice cream after that, and what's your favorite flavor of ice cream?
You can throw keto aside for a second.
Yeah, no keto today.
Oh, no, we ate tacos.
Yeah, we had tacos and some tequila.
Yeah.
Nice. That's a good celebration right
flavor
there.
ice cream? Yeah.
Tequila.
My favorite flavor is
Frozen tequila.
mint chip, and I also like chocolate malted crunch.
I'm a mint chip guy.
Mint chip guy? You're not a frozen tequila like Casey said?
Ugh.
Yeah.
You know what? Mint chip comes up a lot, actually.
Yeah, it really does.
It's a pretty good standard.
So, have you guys ever had the lollipop with the scorpion in it?
No.
No.
I've always looked at it,
It
and
looks really
wondered.
gross.
Yes.
Yeah.
They have crickets too. Did you know they have
I
cricket
have
ones?
seen them.
Those are crazy.
Ace Hardware has all those.
I feel like I've never had one either, but I'm like the same way too. Like you're at the checkout line and you're like staring at it. You're like, God, like what? Like, and you think, who's the guy that buys it? Maybe I want to buy it. I don't know if I should take this out to my family. Like you're like really weird about it, right?
I know exactly who eats it.
Who?
The dude in the Ford Taurus with the mullet. That guy eats it for sure.
100%.
And he's wearing Crocs.
Oh man, that goes so good.
Oh man.
Yeah. It's like the tourist who buys the lollipop with a scorpion in it. It's the tourist from Ohio.
totally.
That's wearing Crocs.
Yeah,
That's
That goes to
great.
TJ.
Love it.
Yeah.
Look at the saguaras.
Yeah,
Those guys.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. How about ski or snowboard? If you got to pick, ski or snowboard. Okay.
Ski. I don't like being sideways.
Yeah. I don't like having my feet tied down.
That's a good
true.
point though too. Kristen
It
just
is.
focused on moving forward.
Yeah.
It's good.
All right, dogs or cats?
We like
I
dogs.
but we have to have a cat because our kids are allergic to dogs.
Yep.
Oh, really?
No offense to the cat.
Sorry, kitty.
Yeah.
The cat stood right there. He's like, "Hey, are you talking about me?"
No, actually,
Yeah.
it was just about to do this.
Yeah.
Knock the water bottle over.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Netflix or YouTube?
Netflix.
We watch Netflix for sure.
Going Netflix all the time. Well, this show is going to be on YouTube, so we would appreciate if we can share this to all of our audience. We'll have.
Oh,
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
YouTube. That's what I meant
Yeah,
to say.
exactly. So,
My bad.
ooh, here we go. Burrito or taco?
Ooh.
I get burritos all the time without the tortilla. Does that count?
Yeah.
Does
Keto burrito?
burrito bowl? Burrito
Yeah.
bowl.
Yep.
So I
does
never
count.
understood why it's called burrito bowl though.
Just because
Shouldn't it just be called bowl?
No, because it is the stuff you want.
You do have a point.
You do have a point, but
It's the contents of a burrito.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you don't want the contents of a taco because that's not enough.
I mean, like if we were at
Agreed.
Chipotle and they took the burrito, like what you were doing with your hands, and they ripped it open and dropped it into a bowl, I could get like the whole process, but I just don't understand why it's just not called bowl.
you could ask him to do
It
that.
is at like Chipotle or what's it?
Chipotle.
Mexican place. Chipotle, yeah.
Or they just take the burrito and they just set it in the bowl. They don't even rip it apart. They just set it in there and then let it go.
That would be funny.
All right, Wayne. So take your GoPro next time. If you take Craig Scanlon to lunch, take him with you, and then see if you can have them just break his burrito up and then just throw it into a bowl.
Like cracking an egg?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I love
Greg
it.
and I have a no filming.
I want to see it.
We have a no filming clause.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah, no cameras around.
All right. What's the next? Well,
So we're going to have to mix this one up maybe.
yeah. So pick 2 other forms of racing then. Like, what do you like? F1 and how about Formula E? F1 or Formula E?
There you go. Those are 2 polar opposites.
Oh,
But the
I'm
same.
interested in Formula E.
Dude,
yeah,
same
I
here.
would
Yeah.
say that Formula E's interesting, but F1, there's nothing. I mean, there's nothing better. It's the best of the best.
Right.
So we were talking about
It's
it
hard
too.
to argue that one.
We were talking
Agreed.
about it in the studio, I think maybe 10 shows ago or something. And Casey and I were like, you know what? We don't even care if we drive. I just want to sit behind the sidelines and just watch for a race. Like, how cool would it be to see all the engineering?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
I want to see all that.
Yeah.
that would be so insane.
Yeah, just to walk through the paddock and see everything. It would be incredible just to see what all goes into it. Like to walk into, say, the Red Bull shop
Right.
and see the Red Bull F1 shop and everything they go through to make those cars do what they do. It's
Totally.
insane.
Talk about a no camera clause.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, you can
I
switch
like
it up.
Formula E though because it's still in the dirt.
Yeah, it's in the dirt.
Yeah.
But,
No, I was talking about a
it's-
different one, but so that's Extreme E that Sarah Price is going to do. So
Oh,
it's
yeah.
Extreme E. What's Formula E?
What's Formula E?
So it's kind of like more like a prototype F1 car.
Right.
Like it's a square body, not an open wheel, but it's
Oh, is it the electric ones or no?
yeah,
Yeah.
yep. So anything with a dash
No.
E, like Extreme E, Formula E,
Yeah.
they're almost all owned by the same racing organization. I think.
It needs a motor.
Yeah.
It needs to make noise.
Yeah.
Or at least a card in the
You can pump your
spokes.
helmet.
Yeah.
So
You lose a lot of the effect when you don't have something screaming at 15,000 RPM.
Totally.
I agree with that 100%. But the cool part
I
about
can
it
do
is
it like my Raptor does.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
her Raptor pumps it through the stereo system.
really.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
That would be
Yeah.
hilarious. So you gas it, it's like. So
Yeah.
one of the things that I think is cool, and I don't know whether they could actually execute this in a gas-powered car, but in the Formula E series, it's like Mario Kart, where you can go to an
Right.
outside of a turn, and it gives you a turbo boost, and then you charge up, and then the tracker or whatever charges up your car so you can make a pass in the next straightaway. It's crazy. Like it's like a video game,
Yeah.
but it's with a real race car.
Yeah.
That's
That's cool.
interesting.
I
yeah,
think
I still would want a motor.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
disagree with you
I
at
still
all.
want gasoline.
I don't disagree
Yeah,
with you at all,
agreed.
but I think it's cool that these ideas are coming out for sure.
Right.
Yeah, it's cool they're coming out. It's just I think sometimes they force the issues.
Sure.
They force people to want to drive the things and stuff like that. And it's I don't know. Sometimes I don't think it's ready for it, like the electric motorcycles.
Yeah.
It's like, it's cool, but
Yeah.
who wants to ride a motorcycle for 20 minutes?
Yeah.
So I rode
I'm
one.
not there exactly.
I rode one 2 days ago, just out in the front. You can't even pop a wheelie because it's governed so much. So it takes away all the fun because it's a torquey motor, right? But the computer is limited, so it's super linear and you can't even pop a wheelie. However, I pulled out from the street that we're on, and I got going 83 in like 100 feet. Like
Dang.
it was so quick. Like it almost blew me off the back. Like it was so freaking fast. It was ridiculous.
It's funny that it's all governed. You remember that movie Minority Report back in the day?
Yeah.
You're gonna pop a wheelie. No wheelies. Right, you can. All right. So if you have a blank canvas,
Wait, hold on. Let me get a couple comments in here real quick. So Caden Danbury says you guys killed it again, Wayne and Kristen. So good job. And
he also says no Crocs, please.
yeah, no
Caden.
Crocs, please.
Attaboy.
Yeah, no Crocs.
So much hate on
Attaboy,
the
kid.
Crocs this episode. And Jeff Angel said depends on the barbecue sauce with the little smokies. Is there like some sort of special like really good barbecue sauce or something like?
So
with
I'm
those?
a big time beginner because when I used to camp with my grandfather way back in the day as a little kid, it was just little smokies.
Yeah.
Now I'm hearing about people cooking them and
Yeah,
barbecuing
all kinds of
and
crazy stuff,
gourmet. I'm missing out.
Dude, we got to get on this little smoky
I like it in
train.
the barbecue sauce.
You're doing what?
She likes them with the barbecue sauce.
Yeah. like a crock pot with them with the barbecue sauce.
Yeah, that's how I thought they were always cooked.
dang.
Case.
Yes, I have seen that. I don't know that I've partaken.
Oh, really?
I need to.
All right. So since I took your question, what's the next one?
So if you have a blank canvas, sky's the limit. What other form of racing would you like to try?
This could be a water form of racing. It could be monster trucks.
Man, I hope it is.
Ooh. Monster truck.
Monster truck does look like fun, but
Yeah.
it's almost like the monster truck racing is not that much fun, but the freestyle is fun.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you go to the monster truck races, the races are kind of boring, but the freestyle is where it's at, and that looks like fun.
We had
Just messing stuff up.
We had another guest say Red Bull Air Race planes, like those planes too. Like that would
That's
be
Yeah, that would be
nuts.
fun. I think the riverboat races where they race the jet boats up the rapids, like just at 80, 90, 100 miles an hour up rapids, that would be fun.
That's
up
pretty
rapids.
nuts.
Yeah, anything-
So I've seen the ones where they do like the little short course where they like turn really fast, like left and right and stuff. What's
Oh,
the
yeah,
one he's
those are cool.
What's
but
Wayne talking about?
Watch
then?
the ones that go up the rapids. Yeah,
Yeah.
they got 1,200 horsepower boats that go upriver up the rapids at 80 to 100 miles an hour.
Is it a
or
big
faster.
boat or is it small?
Yeah, like a 20, 22-foot boat.
No way.
Wow.
And it's got like a jillion horsepower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have turbine ones with jet motors.
Oh man,
Dang, that'd
Yeah.
be crazy.
kind of
So-
need to
Yeah, that's-
look into it now.
So I always wonder about these jet cars, right? Like, what if you get whiskey throttle? Doesn't it just stay? Like, you can't slow down and hit the brakes, really? Can you?
I don't know.
Like, I don't know if those jet engines work like that. I'd be sketched out if I had a jet boat like that was going that fast up rapids, and you got whiskey throttle. Hoo-wee. All right, so
You
the
know,
last.
what's like a ton of fun is Blake Wilkie's boat racing.
Yeah, that little boat that Blake Wilkie has.
Jesse Nelson's building one. He had all the parts show up when I was over there the other day.
Yeah, that looks like a lot of fun.
So fun.
So they race those up the rapids too. Like that's what those are built for, is river running on the rapids.
Oh, really? But that's
Yeah,
more of
just
like a
picture-
beginner class?
Yeah, I mean that's like a little 12-foot boat or whatever it is with a jet ski motor. Picture a 22-foot boat with a jet or a 1,200 horsepower big block.
Dang.
So Jeff Rickers is picking Demolition Derby because he needs his redemption.
Oh, yeah.
He
That
needs
was
his,
a lot of
his
fun.
He's
redemption.
doing that because Kristen. Yeah, Kristen waxed him in his own car.
That's
Driving a
hilarious.
pink Cadillac.
That's awesome.
The Demolition Derby would be pretty fun.
Yeah, he says with Craig and
Yeah.
get Craig
It
and
was
Wayne out there
fun.
too
It was a lot of fun.
I can
Yeah.
only imagine the campfire cooler stories after that.
after a demo derby. Yeah.
How fun would that
Did
be?
you see me throw it in reverse?
It's weird he hasn't had back since.
Yeah, he hasn't had her back since.
Oh, she's too good.
Calling you out,
He said the
Jeffrey.
event was canceled, but I don't know. I don't think it was.
I'm thinking she might have talked about that on her episode.
Did she?
Did you by chance?
I think I did.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm all of a sudden.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
I'm kind of picturing it all of a sudden. Wait.
Oh, yeah, because we talked about the size of the cars, and you always have to go in reverse. All right, the last most important question of the night.
It is pretty important.
Chips and guacamole or french fries and ketchup?
Chips and guacamole.
Nice in
Yep.
stereo.
In stereo.
Love it.
Well,
Yeah.
we definitely agree with the chips and guacamole. We only had, I think, one or two guests pick french fries and ketchup, and one of them, I think, switched it for french fries and ranch.
Ranch,
So
yep.
That's what it was.
Oh.
Well, we really appreciate you taking the time with us, Wayne, and thank you for joining us as well, Kristen. It was really cool talking with you guys.
Yeah, thanks for having us on.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
sure.
Yeah.
I like tater tots too.
Ooh, that's a good
Yeah.
one.
Okay, how about
And next time
anything potato?
next time you have Craig Scanlon on the show, you have to ask him about Kristen's tater tots.
No, don't do that.
I don't even know if I want to get into that because it
Yeah.
sounded kind of weird when Wayne said that.
Yeah, it did.
No. It's Kristen eating tater tots.
Okay.
Okay, that's a little bit better.
Yeah.
That's PG-13.
Yeah,
Thanks,
yeah.
Wayne.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, it was full family affair.
I'm going to throw it out there for the foodies like myself out there.
Yeah.
Anything potato, ask for it extra crispy. Just do it.
Have you
Just do
Yes,
it.
100%.
Right? Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. So
always
good.
In and Out?
Yeah.
Always French fries extra crispy.
Yep.
And then
Yeah.
at In and Out, have you guys got? Well, you guys would go protein style, but have you ever got the chopped chilies on your burger?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Always.
Oh man,
That's a standard issue with this one.
Have you tried it mustard fried now? Because
it's
Yes.
what?
Yeah.
because Jesse told us mustard fried.
No.
So good. I had no idea.
What is that?
It's so good.
They cook it, they
Yep.
fry it in mustard. It's next level.
Yeah.
Sorry.
They
Really?
smear mustard on it and
Yeah.
then grill it.
It's so good.
You gotta try that on your steak at home too.
Yeah, on your steak at home, it's good.
Really.
Dang, I'm going to In-N-Out
Yeah.
tomorrow.
You need to try it.
I haven't been there in like 2 years. I'm gonna have to go check it out.
Extra crispy and mustard fried.
All right, so I'm gonna send a picture and tag Wayne and Kristen tomorrow and you on the internet.
Perfect.
Thank you guys very much
Thanks,
for joining
Caden.
us. Do we have any more comments before we need to get off the? Let these guys go to.
Caden's pretty pumped. He says, "Great show, guys. Awesome
Yeah.
show, guys." Jeff Ricker. Craig did a scorpion in the car.
In the car,
That must be the demo derby. I'm guessing.
or yeah, some sort of follow up. Well, so Craig Scanlon is. We're gonna have to figure out how to print scorpion stickers for the side of his car now.
Totally.
Yeah.
Love
Well,
it.
thank you guys very much for
Craig's
joining
body.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The scorpion would be Craig's body.
Yep.
I don't wonder if we know a guy that's like good enough at Photoshop to be able to do that. I don't think I could do it. So,
Oh, yeah, it can be done.
Oh,
It
yeah.
can be done.
It could be done.
It
All
will
right,
be
guys.
done now.
Yeah. Yeah.
well, we'll let you guys get back to your evening. I appreciate you guys coming on the show, and thank you guys very, very much for always supporting us. It's really cool to see such a good off-road community and camaraderie. We really appreciate it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank
thank
you
you.
guys too.
Yep, and I
You guys
feel
do
like-
an awesome
I
job
feel like I
with
have a
this.
new friend. Awesome.
Yeah,
of
let's
them.
go ride dirt bikes.
Let's do it.
Dude, for real. Actually, don't tempt us because we're definitely going to do that one of these days. We'll get a few other
Yeah, I'll
guys
take
to
you.
go.
Come down here for a day. We can go do some single track in Baja.
Dude, that would be
It's
fun.
epic down there.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make Skyrim.
Yeah, or go to Mike's Sky Ranch with us in December.
Dude, that would be so fun. I might actually
So
take
awesome.
you guys up on that. So we're gonna be talking more in the meantime about this RS1 thing that I think Craig Scanlon's got me over my head. So we're gonna have to see if we can get this thing figured out.
Nah.
I can jump in there and have some fun with you guys.
Oh, you're going to have a blast.
You got this. Yeah.
Like I said, you can't help but smile when you drive an RS1.
Yeah.
All right.
It
well,
is fun.
we'll definitely talk about it so you guys can give me all the secret inside scoop on these bad boys. So thank you guys very much for joining us. We really appreciate it, and have an awesome rest of your week.
All right. You too.
Thank you.
We'll see you guys
See
later.
you guys.
So thank you very much to Wayne and Kristen Matlock. It was so cool talking with them. It's just like,
For sure.
I love those conversations because there's a lot of serious stuff that happens behind them, right? But
Right.
like, I feel like I'm just like still like smiling from ear to ear because we laugh so much the whole
Totally.
time, right?
Yep.
And thank you very much to Jeff Proctor for calling in and giving us his Vegas to Reno overview. That was super cool of him to do that. Ryan Edwards for, man, just always working his ass off and kicking butt, doing all his stuff with KMC Wheels. You guys are awesome tonight. Well, I'm sorry if we didn't answer all of the comments. It looks like our computers were having a few issues, but we really appreciate you guys chiming in when you did. And thank you for asking all the questions with Wayne and Kristen Matlock. It was really, really cool to have everybody joining us. Thank you, obviously, to our sponsors. They, man, our audience and our sponsors are so much our lifeblood. It kills me just every time
No doubt.
knowing how much support we get.
Yep.
So thank you to the guys at Shock Therapy. Use the code DIRTLIFE at shocktherapist.com, and you can save a whole bunch of money. Thank you to the guys at Solder Weld. You can get your off-road repair kit, solderweld.com. Use the code DIRTLIFE. Save on that. And thank you guys at Rugged Radios and Zollinger Racing Products. Both of those guys. You can use the code DIRTLIFE at their websites as well. And thank you very, very much to Ryan at KMC Wheels for coming on the show and for obviously supporting the show. So we really appreciate it. So next week is going to be a pretty good one too, man. We have Hunter Miller is going to come on. Hunter Miller is a factory Can-Am driver. He's actually called into the show before. But this weekend, one of the reasons I'm going to Texas is to go to Texplex Racetrack, and him and a guy named Kyle Hart are fighting for the championship of, I don't know what the actual series is called, but it's a Texplex Championship Series, $40,000 for who wins the side-by-side championship.
Nice.
How rad is that, dude?
And is it coming down to the last one? Is that what you're
Yep,
saying?
there's like
Oh,
one or
man.
2 points.
Whoa, that's awesome.
So we're going to go get some content with them and have some fun over there. It'll be interesting for me because I haven't been to a big race like this and the whole COVID thing, so it was nice to hear what all these guys were doing at the Vegas to Reno race and understanding how things work. So I think it's going to be really fun. So we're going to go hang out with the Miller brothers and everybody else at Texplex this weekend, and then that show is going to be one for the books because it's going to be either the highest of highs or maybe the lowest of lows. I hope for the highest of highs, but hopefully he wins that bad boy and comes home with a big old smile on his face. So he wants to have some fun with us, right?
No
so
kidding.
it's going to be really cool. And like I mentioned before with the Honda Off-Road guys, we have some cool content coming out in the next few weeks here.
I'm excited for that.
Doing the shop tour.
Big time.
It's going to be really, really cool. And some of the people that have seen it up to date and looked at it have said that it's
so cool.
It's really, really fun to be able to get behind the scenes and understand some of the stuff that's going on.
And seeing those cars, if you haven't seen them in person, which I haven't.
Yeah, but it's almost in person doing the video.
That's
stuff,
what I mean.
Man.
And
it's really close.
So cool.
It is super, super cool,
So
man.
cool.
I still been talking about it, and I was there 3 weeks ago. So, like it's awesome. So, pay attention to that content that's coming out. Like I said, we really appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Thank you to everybody who chimed in. Obviously, Craig Scanlon, Mike Gardner, Brett Carpenter, and Caden Danbury. Man, we got a list of people that chimed in. But thank you guys very, very much.
Thanks.
Yeah, Jeff Ricker. We really, really appreciate it. And, so we will see you guys next week with the Hunter Miller Show. That $40,000 prize is going to be crazy, crazy, crazy this weekend. Thank you guys very much for tuning in to Dirt Life. You got anything else, Case?
It'd be awesome if you could see – you're going to go hang out with them, obviously. It'd be sweet to see, like, all the crib-style stuff. Like, we're going to QT in the morning and getting our whatever before – you know what I mean? Like, living that whole day with him would be so cool. I don't know that you can do that, but maybe he can help.
I'll try.
You know what I mean?
At least when I get to the racetrack, because I got to do the whole rental car thing because I'm flying. So we'll see what happens. I'll see how much access I can get.
Yeah, maybe he can help you with that.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if you got some good bits, you could throw something cool together that would be like a whole, especially if it works out good.
That would be pretty fun.
Wouldn't it?
Yeah. So we'll see. I don't know if I can get him going to the gas station because he's going to be pretty busy. But
well, not just that, but you know what I'm saying. Like the stuff that people he thinks would be, who cares? But like
people
everybody
love that.
Like maybe he makes his coffee in the morning at home. Maybe.
Yeah.
Who knows? I mean, all that stuff is cool because it's like every little ingredient to the perfect.
I'm going to have to show up early and then like knock on their trailer when they're still sleeping and then wake them up. All right. So we'll see what kind of content I can get this weekend at Texplex. We really appreciate you guys. Like I said before, thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. We love you. Good night.
Thanks for listening to The Dirt Life Show.